bit here if I'm able to. It's still staying pretty high. There we go. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing good. Oops, Daisy. Oh, Loki wants to say hello. He sees I have treats today. There we go. And hey, Double O Wolf, Canigula, and Nicholas. Hope you guys are doing well. And thanks, John, for subscribing to the channel. Here we go. Bloop. I got him some new steak treats today, so he's been pretty happy with them. But I'm sweating like a dog right now. We just got back from the park, and we've been at the park for the last 2 hours. He got so hot, I hosed him down with the at the dog park, and he loved it. But anyway, I hope you guys all had a really good day. It's been a pretty it's been a pretty eventful couple of days. We saw Trump's mugshot yesterday. We saw all the chaos with the markets kind of over the last couple of days, and kind of how things are kind of in two different worlds. There's like the tech world going on right now, then we got everything else, and everything else is pretty sad and ugly looking. And then we got tech that doesn't look bad, doesn't look good right now, it just looks okay. And I would even say more good than okay, but you know, we're kind of at this weird spot right now. The big news that came out today, of course, was the Fed Chair Jerome Powell says he calls inflation too high and warns that we are prepared to raise rates further. And hey, Nico, happy to see you back, man. And this was actually surprising to a lot of people. The overall market, I think, just brushed it off because inflation is actually at a pretty decent level right now. It's not like everybody's panicking about 3% inflation. There are a few things I want to talk to you guys about, just so you guys have something in the background, so you guys get some value out of this stream before we start chilling and talking. But that big news today, we'll watch it right here actually very fast, is this, no, we don't have to listen to his full remarks, that would take way too much time. Basically, we could have more rate hikes, which is pretty extreme if you ask me, because we are seeing some slowdown here. We're not seeing jobless rates go up or anything like that, but we are seeing people, people are running out of their savings accounts now. That's not good. So stuff like that, we're like, hey, you better be careful, because especially what happens in October, everybody, people have to start paying back their student loans. That's going to take a lot of money out of people's pockets where they want to go spending it on at restaurants or something at Home Depot, who knows, the new drill set. I don't know what you guys would want to buy, but yeah, that's important, okay? And hey, Far From Broke, happy to see you back, my man. So, what I want to talk to you guys about very fast is just about inflation and the dollar here very quickly. We all know that inflation did tick back up slightly. This was not something that was very scary or anything like that, but it did move some stuff into motion that I think people should be at least aware of at this point, right? So we went from 4.9 in April to 4.1 to 3, nice moves. But then we just moved up a tidbit from 3 to 3.2. Okay, is 3.2 still a good number? Yes, but it does make people feel a little bit more that, hey, now inflation is going to start getting sticky. And if inflation gets sticky, maybe the Fed, maybe they don't have to raise rates, but Jerome Powell said they might. But instead, maybe we just don't lower rates quickly. We just let the rates that are very high right now, we just let them stay high. So this is the Fed funds rate. If I go back over here to the last 25 years, you guys can clearly see we're at a very high level, okay? But we usually start raising this when the economy is doing very good. Usually we aren't really dealing with inflation. That's why, 2004, we started hiking back up. 2016, the Trump economy was getting a little hot. So we started raising interest rates and things were looking okay. Go back over here to inflation, same time frame, 25 years. Let's just actually go to 10 years. Let's go to column so you can kind of see it, right? Even during the Trump time before COVID, you can see inflation did get up to like 3% at sometimes, but that's why we started raising rates, right? Going back a little bit further, 25 years ago, you can see over here, 2012, got the Obama years, we went up to 4% a little bit, but we didn't have rates going up. Why? Because the economy was in a shitstorm. So, to be expected there. But even, back in the Bush economies and stuff like that, we got up to 3-4%. It wasn't something crazy. We just started to hike rates to when that happened. But, what my main point here is we're not in any unknown territory. We've been here plenty of times before. And that's why it's curious that he's still so aggressive on it. And he's saying like, hey, we see it's coming down. We don't plan on raising interest rates anymore. We're just going to kind of see what happens. They should just say we're going to be data dependent. I think that's the Fed speak for saying, hey, we're not going to be doing anything else, right? And hey, Tony, happy to see you back, my man. I'm doing pretty good. Tired as can be. You can probably even see a little glistening on my skin from being outside all day and getting a little sweaty. I took Loki outside for the day so he can get all that energy out. And he's definitely been doing that. He's not even... Oh no, he's actually laying down right next to me because he's beat. He was like hot and drained of energy today, so he's He's having a good day, so am I. We even got Chick-fil-A for lunch. He even got a few Chick-fil-A nuggets. Okay. But you see my point here. Now, what's interesting basically about all of this is I'm actually going to go over here from Bitcoin. I'm actually going to go over here to this one. Let's load a layout. I think it's the subscribe layout. So this is, oh, I just made a TikTok or something about Walt Disney and Target. Fun fact, what this arrow is, that's when Walt Disney started the little war with DeSantis down in Florida, and they got their special permissions revoked. I don't understand much of it. I don't really care about it, but that's when it happened. Their stock has not been doing good since. This is just a fun little tidbit here. Walt Disney on the verge of a major level of support. That support below, there's hardly any support down here. And back over here, these are levels that were last seen in 2011. And I know I'm not zoomed in a lot on these charts, and I'll zoom in a little bit more in a few minutes, but you know, it's all the way back in 2011 where you find that really next strong level of support, which is crazy to me because I don't really trade Disney all too much ever. But you can see how it just has not been performing too well, and that culture war issue, perhaps, I think that's what they're calling it these days, it has not worked out in their favor. Plus there are now big strikes going on and nothing's going their way. You go over here to Target. This is where they had the backlash for, I don't know what it was, something in the store or something like that, LGBTQ something over that related to that backlash at the same time as Anheuser-Busch. Boom, really nasty move down, and then all of a sudden they keep on coming down and down and down, and they just broke down below their support, and now they're heading back down here to levels we haven't seen since 2020. These are COVID levels, not COVID highs, the COVID drop levels. So you're seeing a lot of different companies right now actually in a very unhealthy position, and I think this is some of that forecast that we're talking about where we're saying, hey, the economy isn't necessarily as good as everybody makes it out to be, but it's not as disastrous as everybody thought it would be. I think that's like kind of that threading the needle there. But what I want to do is go over here very fast. I want to go over to the dollar. This will work, I guess. Is this the right one, though? Okay, so there's two ways you could look at this, I guess. This is just a Gantt square, no Gantt box or anything like that on top of it. But maybe... no, let's keep it to the other one. You know, let's take the logarithmic off right here. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see a little bit of consolidation happening right now. There's an opportunity for the dollar to break out of a larger multi-year resistance level. We've been kind of consolidating within it for the last few months. Things aren't looking too good. But if we kind of go over here, let me just go over to the other dollar when I head up here. Okay, this is the weekly dollar chart, DXY. We just had that breakout. Now, technically, the week's not over. We might have some more time left, but seem like we're stopped actually right now. Everything's stopped. Yeah, it's done for the week. Oh, today's Friday. Wow, guys, Jesus, my time schedule's been off a lot. I think since I stopped taking my ADHD medication because it's messing up with my my healing medicine for my mouth. I'm like an ADHD withdrawal where I'm just not doing anything of actual value. It's like not working as much, do that type of stuff. Mostly just relaxing and trying to find some like reason to do something in the day, which is why I took Loki outside all day. But you can see we had that breakout. The breakout is now confirmed on the weekly chart here. So what happens next? All right. So I've been looking at a whole bunch of oscillators and stuff like that. Simple ones, MACDs. Should be one more. There we go. And this is the stochastic one. If I can just lower that down there. Let's go thicker. Let's go thicker. There you go. Now I'll actually zoom in a little bit because normally you guys see this chart, I think, at 175 zoom in. You see the breakout, right? See the crossover breakouts over here, although a little bit more mixed, I would say. But this is a weekly chart, so you're going to see that a little bit more. But basically, I don't know if you guys can see this all too much. Maybe I can pull this over here, perhaps. Can I pull this over here where you kind of see it? I've been getting some... Oop. A large pool of pent-up. No. I'm trying to see if I can pull this up for you guys right here. There we go. Okay, I was trying to pull it off slightly so it doesn't block everything. Okay, so you guys see this strong bullish divergence here, basically, where you got lower lows, but the actual oscillator itself is making higher lows right now, and that was a bullish divergence. Now we'll see if the bullish divergence ends up panning out. So far this breakout is suggesting that it might, but we see the dollar going stronger, getting higher and higher and higher, the dollar getting stronger basically. The reason I bring this up here is because as soon as this dollar started to move up, do you know when this actually started to happen? Okay, I'm gonna max this out now. When did it happen? See on the bottom of my screen, I think you guys can see. In July. What happened in July? We got that first uptick. Let's go 5-year. There we go. We got that first uptick from the actual inflation numbers. And all of a sudden, everything went from being good to now we're breaking out of those downward trends. And you know, even if you're not so bullish on the dollar or anything like that, you could completely see that the overall trend here, the heck, the overall trend has stopped going down, and now we're going down a little bit more sideways. If you guys added on some you know, the smart money concepts, the change of characters, the trend shifting and stuff like that, now we do have a change of character right here, and you can see ever since then we've been going up and up and up and up and up. That's a smaller one. A smaller one right here has been better. Usually the swing structures aren't as profitable, I would say, on this the currency charts, but the smaller ones are the there's two ways this one labels it. Internal and swing structure. The internal structure is the ones with the dots right here. They seem to be much more profitable for long-term holding, as long as you kind of follow the trend here, I would say. But again, we do have that bullish trend here. We are breaking out. We're about to hit this premium zone, which you guys can see right up here. But it's going to get a little bit more choppy. So I don't think it's going to be some big major explosion, but it's going to get choppy. The one thing that kind of does concern me here is we got oil prices. And so I'm curious to see what all these high oil prices have done over the past few weeks as far as inflation is concerned. Because you guys know, if it costs more gas to transport goods, usually the companies will pass that cost on to the consumers, and everybody's okay with paying for more inflation these days. Everybody's still spending money, so they don't really see a big reason for you know, stopping now by passing on all those costs. But that's just the big point I wanted to raise with you guys right now, because what happened over here as well, go over here very fast. Bloopity bloop. What happened over here? July, CPI data, the dollar started getting stronger. Happened over here, July, the dollar started getting stronger. The dollar started to get stronger. It's something you guys should be focusing on. And we know that the SPY just broke down here. The Dow Jones just broke down to the smaller trend line here, but hasn't broke down to the major one. The Dow Jones is really going to need a strong week next week, which is why I was telling you guys earlier this week, really the next couple weeks are going to be crucial for what we see over the next month or two. Now, NASDAQ, still not close to a breakout, or excuse me, a breakdown. There was maybe a breakdown here, if you want to really say that, because they had a really aggressive uptrend. Yeah, sure, but really the one that a lot of people are going to be most concerned about, I would say, is going to be this uptrend right here. Okay? So next week is going to have to be huge, particularly for the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones, because they're on the verge of breakdowns. The SPY has actually already had its more aggressive breakdown. It still has so much more wiggle room on this larger trend, okay? So SPY is not as in much danger, but at the same time, you could imagine if the NASDAQ starts to break down, the Dow starts to break down, all the SPY would do is break down faster from this breakdown here back down to this next level of support. If it breaks down from there, we're going from like, what, 439 all the way down here to 392. Breaking 300 would be just, 400 would just be, right? So just keep an eye on that. Things aren't as good as I want them to be right now, but that's why we've been talking about the oscillators, kind of breaking down everything as far as, hey, what's looking good for Bitcoin? What's not looking good? You know, that's why we pull out the simple tools over here like the MACD. I hate that every time I bring this up, I have to redo the lines here because the lines are just so freaking thin. There you go. And of course, there's a few different ways to see this, I guess you could say, right? So let me actually just get a gray right here. Is it? Yeah, okay, there we go. Oh, that's not the color that I need right there. Okay, so you can see lower highs over here. And what does that match up with over here? Where we go right here. Where am I at? There you go. Lower highs over here. I don't think we have higher highs on the, what do you call, oscillator? Oh, I'm totally looking at the wrong thing here. Jesus. What am I looking at here? Lower highs, lower highs. I guess there's two ways you can look at this actually, can't you? Okay, let me move this along right here. You guys can kind of see this, I think. Okay, so it's like these two ones right here that are bearish. So technically the price did make higher highs, right? Higher highs, but the oscillator made lower highs right here. That's the point I was trying to make before I lost my train of thought. But you can also see that the oscillator is also having, MACD still having lower highs, but you could almost think of this as actually an equal high, really, can't you? So you really have your choice to say, hey, this is really, as far as the MACD is concerned on the Bitcoin weekly chart, we really are looking at either a strong or a medium bearish divergence here. Over the last few weeks, I think I've been saying it's more of a strong divergence, but now that I kind of think about it, this kind of looks like it's pretty similar. But I mean, realistically, this level is higher than this level over here. So it is technically a strong bearish divergence, but you know, it's just so close that maybe you can make the argument, I guess you would say. And we really haven't had any crazy lows right here, but if you wanted to do something like that, if we went to the bottom side, I guess technically we're having lower lows, right? If I can find out here, lower lows, but the price is kind of making a higher low, so that could be a higher bullish divergence. But you know, you see the crossover happening. You see all the oscillators and stuff like that working their magic right now. It doesn't really feel that way. But I think, what did we talk about a few days ago? What you guys could be looking at is that Gann friend that I put on the charts earlier. That could really give you some incentive to say, hey, as long as we don't fall down below that, then we have the opportunity for next week to at least try to go back up towards $27,500. It's going to be hard for us to really get back up to these $31,000 levels at this point in time. Again, because the way the dollar is kind of swinging right now. But if we have something that goes on, there's a lot of things that can move the dollar. If we have one of those things happen where the dollar actually starts to crumble back down a little bit, because again, if I go over here to the daily chart, when did we actually start seeing the top and when we had to start coming back down? July. The July is when the dollar flipped around on us. You know, if we get the dollar to flip back around, perhaps we can start just a new mega channel here where maybe we can even go back over here, right? Where we have this old level of resistance, support, and then we start to flip around a little bit and try to go a little bit higher. My main concern, as you guys know, is even if we do have that, I mean, this is the daily chart. We just had the first death cross. Look what happened after that first death cross. Same with this death cross. We kind of had a bad time afterwards. We're about to have the 50 cross down below the 200. We actually haven't had the 50 cross down below the 200 in quite a bit of time, just because it's not something that happens. This will be the first time it's happened since since the actual start of the bear market back over here in January of 2022, which is over a year ago now, guys. It's been a while. So I am a little bit concerned about that. Again, not the panic, oh my God, we're going to have such a big crash like we just had over here. Let me get rid of the MACD here. But it's something where you guys are just like, oh, look at that pattern that we had a while ago. This one over here, we still came down, but not as much, right? I think what happened over here, though, is, as we all remember, we got stimulus checks. Stimulus checks gave us a beautiful round 2. But historically, the 50 crossing the 200 is not a good thing. This historically, the good stuff isn't happening at that point, okay? Going back over to the weekly moving averages. I should actually go back over here to the Coinbase one because that one has a little bit more data. Yeah, there we go, more time. This one's interesting because after all that good news here with this golden cross right there, we're probably going to have a death cross here if Bitcoin doesn't find a way to get this strong bounce going next week. And then we have another death cross with a 20-week moving average cross down below the 200. And, you know, I saw a lot of videos talking about this. Actually, maybe some of you guys did too, where everybody was saying this right here was the signal of the new bull market. You guys know me. I'm pessimistic to a fault probably right now. You guys know that Nvidia just tapped at $500 a couple days ago. I sold the last 5% of my Nvidia portfolio at $500. After hours market, sold it. And you guys know I sold the majority of my Nvidia holdings at $400. I think it was like 4 or 5 because I was like, this thing is going crazy. I made a lot of money. I'm taking it. And I left so much money on the table. And I told you guys at the time, I tend to sell way too early with these types of things. And boom, I was correct. And I should have hedged even more, kind of let it sit on let it sit for a little bit longer. But man, oh man, there's been a kind of crazy market going on right now. But main point being right now, I saw a lot of videos talking about how Bitcoin's 20-week moving average has just been, this is making the start of the new bull market or something like that. In fact, let me go over here to incognito window, YouTube. Oh, I can't even spell moving averages. There we go. Now, maybe something over the last, I guess it only has to be this year, doesn't it? Oh, there's mine, how to add moving averages, but that's not what I'm searching for. No, I guess people wouldn't actually name the video Golden Cross Bitcoin moving average or something like that, but I like to see my face right there. But yeah, so it doesn't look like that's actually led to anything really crazy happening. In fact, after that happened here, guys, which is pretty interesting, we actually had the good news as far as some court cases, ETFs, and things like that. We didn't really have an organic move on the upside. It was a news-filled event. I think that's why everything kind of fell down so drastically. And you guys can see we broke down below the 20-week moving average, and that support level just really hit us all at once, didn't it? But yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm kind of worried about the overall market. Am I going long right now, maybe for a day trade or something? But next week is really going to have to be that week right now, because everything is just showing, hey, bearish, bearish, bearish. And of course, I mean, I didn't even talk about this too much. We just started the downtrend. We just started it last week. Just started it. This week, really a whole bunch of nothing. I mean, we had a little bit of up moves, a little bit of down moves, but this has been the most boring week ever. A lot of sideways action. But we did have this golden cross that's actually finally happening on the 4-hour chart. I would buy specifically for this actually, and probably just have a stop loss around 25,700. Yeah, about a 350 stop loss. Not too much if you're thinking about it. But I'm still concerned about the Dow Jones breaking down here next week, most likely. The NASDAQ probably breaking down sometime next week. And the SPY already breaking down here for a large move on the downward side there. Just hoping that things can balance out a little bit. Because, again, I try to think about what I'm doing in terms of like what I see on the news. So we talked about CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all the big dogs out there, right? And again, I'm not going to go too far into this. What they've been talking about is like a 5 to 6% pullback. You buy during this zone, and then we're off to the races again. That's their whole premise right now. Well, we went down about 8% for the NASDAQ, and then we came back up. So people had that buy zone. So now we're kind of waiting to see if hedge funds continue to buy here, and then we keep on moving, before we actually have these death crosses here between the 20 and the 50, breaking back down below the 200. Because let me zoom out a little bit more. I know this is going to be a little bit weird. Excuse me. Just focus on the lines here. The last time the 20 and the 50 had to break down below the 200, it was all the way back here, and that wasn't a pleasant time. We haven't had to deal with it because the move was fantastic, guys, right? We see what happened with Nvidia, everything. It's been fantastic. Well, now we're starting to see more of these death crosses occur, and those death crosses, well, that's a 4-hour chart. That's not even good there. Oh yeah. Oh, the death cross is just starting here between the 20 and the 50. This time was a bad, but not terrible. Bad. Yeah, most of the time it's not too good. I didn't even think about the daily one for the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ's been so crazy because of what Nvidia and some of these AI stocks, cybersecurity stocks, server stocks, what they've been able to accomplish. But let's take a quick break over here and I'll answer any of you guys' questions. Got Nvidia over here. After earnings, we had that pop in after hours session. I sold during then. Maybe I sold too early this time too. But weekly, look at those moving averages. Golden cross right there. We haven't even come close. Nvidia becomes more dangerous, I would say, in 2 to 3 weeks. It becomes much more dangerous. But you know, it could still have a strong move. It's just, you know, it's starting to show a little bit of weakness over here. Nothing too crazy, but I'm worried about it. And just so you guys know this, I know most of you guys have probably done this yourselves. It did just have that weekly MACD crossover, and I hate the fact that I just need to leave it on, but I need to just to hide it at the bottom. But even the small amount that I see it always irks me. So like even if I hide it like this, maybe you guys can't see, but it has like this little bar right over here. It annoys me. But what do you call it? It just had a weekly death crossover. All right, so that kind of concerns me a little bit. We actually haven't had that type of crossover since way back over here in August of 2022, and then before that, it was all the way back over here, and that didn't lead to good things too. So I'm wondering if technicals are going to start to come into the equation when we start seeing stuff on CNBC and Fox Business and Bloomberg. I wonder if they might have some technical analysis. People just kind of wander on by and say, "Oh, this is just a technical breakdown. Wait a little bit. The value is still there. The PE, the growth, the cash flow, it's all still there. They're going to be investing, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah." I wonder if that's going to become more of the focus here, because those bearish signs are there still. And I'm not saying it means we're crashing or anything, but the signs are there. Now, will Wall Street follow the signs, or will they do something else? Because going over here to the daily one now, this already had the first crossover a while ago. And what happened? It continued to go higher. Which is my main point, saying like don't think it's just going to automatically crash. But what I think has been a little bit more concerning is you can still see that divergence going lower, going higher. The divergence usually wins out, and we actually haven't had the price come back down yet. So I'm wondering to see how that's going to work out. But within these moves, you guys can see here just a little bit. We actually had some bullish crossovers here. Bullish crossover here, bullish crossover here. This bullish crossover, did it actually do anything? Let me just hop that on here very fast. This is going to look very ugly, so just bear with me. The crossover didn't achieve anything here. The crossover that happened right here. It went up for like 3 days-ish, 3 days, and then we're kind of back down to where we were before, so that's a little bit different. Can I like get this off and get it into its new thing again? Move to new pane below. Oh, I love being able to use that. But yeah, so we're starting to see some of those with some of these stocks that have been moving up quite a bit. And it doesn't have to just be Nvidia, everybody. Apple, right? It's been coming down for a while. This is one where the divergence wasn't so crazy, right? Like Nvidia, not so crazy because it already kind of gave up a lot of moves. It already actually had its breakdown. Now we're just consolidating a little bit. It did technically break down, but it came back up. Not necessarily good. Let me get rid of this trend line right here because it's yellow like the 200. We're not really looking at dangerous levels for Apple for a while. Amazon, still looking just fine. You're starting to see that divergence though. And hey, just because it's a divergence doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be terrible. But the signals are there, and now you kind of have to justify buying at these really high prices, because if you zoom out, now you see that, whoa, you know, Amazon managed to have a really few blockbuster months. We had that big breakout right there. We're still going strong. And now we're hitting levels of resistance. Do you buy at that level of resistance, or do you wait for it to break out and then you go in for round two? Like back over here, we had the breakout. Breakout right there, then kept on going higher. I don't really feel any incentive to buy right now. And it makes me feel bad because like I don't like going against like mainstream financial news organizations basically, because it just feels awkward, because I know those people actually know what they're talking about. They're very smart. They all have somewhat hedge funds or something like that. They all kind of work in this financial industry. But it just doesn't look right to me at this point in time, which kind of does give me a little bit more of a concern. And then, of course, you could add on your simple stuff. Like, let me actually make sure this auto... Maybe I can do this very fast. All right. Normally for me, I'd like to get out this white bar right here. So let me just go to the weekly chart right here. This is normally where I like to get out, but you can see how it just boom, boom, boom. It just happens so fast. It's kind of like just, it's been kind of a blessing to kind of have the market kind of go crazy like this. But again, you go over to the weekly chart, you're looking at that bearish crossover over here. The last bearish crossover was over here. That wasn't too good. Over here, that wasn't too good. Over here, that wasn't too good. Over here, not too bad. Over here, not too bad, but really the last few ones have been really bad. The one thing, if you guys are going to be using any MACDs and stuff to, actually, let me just go over here. If I just start applying that to Apple, let me hide this here, right? Let's go to the weekly Apple chart. Actually, the crossover is pretty simple, but you guys see there's not as many crossovers. It just takes away a lot of the unnecessary crossovers, I would say, right? So you kind of show this right here. Crossover right there. Overall, didn't have a good time. It wasn't really a time to be buying because the momentum wasn't there, right? If the momentum is not going in your favor, why buy for the long term? But we had a golden cross right here. Was this really worth buying? Not really, because the overall trend was still downwards, and we didn't actually have a solid breakout here, which was kind of annoying. I was hoping that we might have a breakout right here, right? Didn't have it, and then when we finally did have it over here, we were chugging, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got kicked. We got our butts kicked again. But at least you had like 1, 2, 3 weeks of good growth. If you held on a little bit longer, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 ish, like maybe a month and a half. But again, the breakout to do was actually this one, right? Breakout, MACD crossover, stochastic crossover happened back over here, so you have another reason. You could have used the super trend if you wanted to, but this super trend is actually not, this one has much more lag than most people would like. Usually you don't need to use a long, you don't need to add lag to an indicator that's on a weekly chart unless you're specifically looking for something. So you might not want to be using the super trend. Maybe that's up to you. But then you also have the squeeze momentum indicator telling you, hey, there's a squeeze going on. Maybe you want to buy around here. So you could have either bought the breakout or bought the change of character or bought the crossover, anything like that. You have your moves. Now everything's looking more bearish. You see the momentum is slowing down. It's just like, what do you want to do? If there's one thing I'm most excited about, I would say is options. I'm gonna make a video for Diamond members here pretty soon on this, and then one for Sapphire and Emerald members too. Is gonna be Disney. Disney is one of those things where even though it's already fallen down so much, you can see the sell signal here, the change of character here, where everything's just been going downhill ever since. We got the MACD crossing over here. Now this isn't even the standard MACD. This is my lagging MACD, so it's really lagging right now. What do you got? You got the stochastic already having those more bearish crossovers, but already in oversold territory. That's pretty crazy. And you got the squeeze occurring at the same time here. It's pretty interesting to say the least. I was hoping we might have a bounce or something, but we haven't even come close to something of a breakout here, which has been surprising because when you think about Disney, it's a well-known company. I know they have the culture war issues, but it's a well-known company, and they're still finding a way to break down to levels we haven't seen since COVID. Like, I'm not even talking about the height of COVID. Like, this is just the low point of COVID is where Disney is currently sitting. And if you guys know me, if we break down below big levels of support like this, what happens, right? We held this for 1, 2 weeks, crashed down below, consolidated while making lower highs, so kind of going down and down and down. That next level of support is kind of around $75.61. We're at 83 bucks right now. If we just make our way back down there and we have a change of character on top of that at the end of this week, that's another 9% drop. Then, and maybe then, we consolidate for a little bit and hopefully break back out. But if we don't, Disney's not looking too bueno there. All right. Enough ranting from me. If you guys have any questions, let me know. It's been a pretty long day. I'm happy to kind of chill out with you guys and talk. Just going to move over back here to my main chart, get rid of some other stuff here. And, if you get anything from that rant or that introduction, watch the dollar. Watch the dollar. It's a lot more sneaky than you guys think. And you guys can tell the moving averages here obviously looking not so good. Oh, please let the moving averages be wrong for this. Just this once, let the moving averages be wrong. Because you guys know it's just definitely not something I've been excited about for the past few weeks here. Let's drop that pain down there for the MACD. Because all we've done this week is just go flat and sideways. We've had a couple of surprises where a big drop again, a big top pop again, where we're just basically liquidations, and now we're making lower highs again. I'm hoping that maybe we find a reason to break out. This trend right here is now gone, this downtrend. Now we're kind of going back into maybe a sideways trend. Hopefully we can have a big breakout. I'm anticipating one. next 5 hours or so. That could be kind of fun. Maybe that gives altcoins an opportunity to have a little bit of a boost. And then from there, let's actually go to the 4-hour chart here. From there, you know, we just kind of enter into this more boring trend again, where we have a level of support kind of around here, a level of resistance kind of around here at the beginning, and then that next level of resistance kind of up here, where we have a few different ranges you guys could play around at. Right now, we're still in kind of in that buying range with a small stop loss. That stop loss is going to be about, you know, 0.85%. So 10x leverage, you're really risking about 10% or 8%, you know, on the stop loss, and you're hoping for about 2%. So you're risking like 8% for like a little over 20%. That's the goal right now. Good luck if you want to take it. I'll probably take it actually myself, but play it safe. Don't go too crazy. We're starting to see things slow down, and usually when stuff slows down, we have the opportunity for a little bit of a rebound. And once we have that rebound, though, watch out for some really quick moves as bears try to push us back down and cause more confusion and chaos, because we're still hitting drip from that Binance stuff going on. And plus, I don't think this Trump stuff is actually going to affect the market all too much, but I have never seen a crazier mugshot than what I saw Trump. I don't know if you guys have seen this Trump mugshot. That's a guy who's going to get his revenge and who's ticked off. And I can definitely understand why he's ticked off. But man, that's a guy who's like, I'm coming for you. I didn't know what his mugshot was going to look like. I didn't even know if he was going to have to take a mugshot. That's a mugshot that's going to be on t-shirts. It's going to have like the old gangster, like, you know, black and white thing over it. It's gonna be a stylish thing to wear after a while, because that is a crazy mugshot. That's a mugshot with attitude, and I didn't know if he was gonna have an attitude or smile and make light of it. No, that's a mugshot that means I'm here for business. Let's go. I was surprised. Oh my god, we're in freaking crazy times right now, everybody. And plus all the brick stuff going on. If you guys have questions about bricks, I'll answer them, but I'm not going to go into that rabbit hole because it's just so much stuff to talk about as far as bricks is concerned. And hey, Mattis, happy to see you back, man. I'm so tired of overtime hours for a bullshit pay, brother. Dude, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people out there having to work a lot more because everything just happens to be so much more expensive. I went to the dog store today to get Loki some treats, and the treats were like $25. And it's not like they were some maybe a little bit nicer treats, but they're not like the basic treats, but they're not the really extreme fancy ones. They were like $22. I was shocked. My gas around here is still over $5 a gallon. I got a couple of gallons of milk the other day, and it was sky high. I think I got a thing of heavy whipping cream for my mother at Costco. Let me find this out very fast for you. I think this is wild. Let's see. I actually don't go to Costco's website ever, but heavy whipping cream, I think that's what it's called. Oh, they don't have it called there. Oh, not delivered. So it's something else. But basically, you know, a half-gallon carton of heavy whipping cream. It's not that one. It's like a Dairy Gold one or something like that. There it is. This one. That's right here. It's 64 fluid ounces, 1.89 liters, half carton basically, like a carton. $12 for that. I love my mom, guys, but $12 for heavy whipping cream, I was shocked. But yeah, so it's been pretty interesting. I just bought her 2 things of milk the other day too. But yeah, things are still expensive, and I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about over the last few months. Is even though inflation has been coming down, it doesn't mean prices are coming down. It just means prices are not going up as fast. So they're trying to give wages a chance to catch up to where inflation has gotten. But now that the labor market has kind of shifted back to the corporations and not to the people, you're starting to see those races kind of slow down just a little bit. Like, can I find this over here? column. How do I do this for you guys to see? All right, so this is United States wages and salaries growth. Okay. This is the last 10 years column, right? They were growing fine in 2014, 16, 18, fine. Inflation hit, they spiked back up. But as inflation's coming back down, we're at normal growth levels, and it's going to take a while for this to kind of balance back out. It's gonna take a while. I mean, go back to 25 years, you know, we have our standard like 5% wage growth. Nothing really has changed that besides 2008 and the COVID. But normally we're not looking at anything too crazy. Now, we're just kind of back down to those normal numbers, and you know, it'll probably take a couple years before people really feel prosperous again. And even then, this current economy isn't all too good. So if we go into recession, people lose their jobs, it's going to get even worse, right? You're going to see us come back down into the negative wage growth section here. Now, the other thing here is, which is interesting, is this is wage growth, but we also have United States average hourly wages. So this has been going up over, this is a 25, this is from the 1970s, so it looks really nice. Let's go over to last year, right? We're still going up. We're growing bit by bit by bit by bit. So we, like I'm saying, we are making progress. It's just going to take a long time for anything really good to happen. And I think what needs to happen, frankly, is I think there has to be some type of standard. It could come from a YouTuber like me or somebody out there that has mass broad appeal. I would say something more of a Joe Rogan or a person of that size and stature. There are tons of channels that are like really large like that, where people have to understand, well, hey, I know you have money, I know you have savings, I know you have this and that, but do you really have to go out for lunch every week with the girlfriends? Can you go every other week? Do you really need this nice new car that costs like $50,000? Or would you be okay with this modest car for $30,000? And you guys even know car prices are getting up higher too. I wonder if there's actually even a thing over here. Let me check this out very fast, because I don't exactly know how to search for this. Let's see. Producer price index, new car dealers, used vehicle sales. No. It's car dealers. I'm not entirely sure how this works, so I'm not even going to try. But, you know, actually, there's something I can search for it now. Let me just go to incognito window. Average price of a car in the USA. In the United States, the average selling price for a new light vehicle came to around $46,290 in US dollars in 2022. All right, that's insane. I myself can't afford a new car. I'm constantly reminded, because people say, yeah, you're pre-approved for a new car, come on down to the dealership. And I'm like, no, my car that I own cost me $4,000. I bought it in college. Now, do I have to pay maintenance on it and get it fixed up every now and again? Yes. I got to go get new tires for it. I need to get new brakes for it, new rotors, because I waited too long to get my brakes fixed. I think the balling joints are going right now, so I need to, whatever you call those joints, you know, I need to go get those replaced. But that's still cheaper than still being stuck on a payment for a car, right? So like, I don't know. I've never bought a new car. I've never felt the need to do it. How long does it take to pay off a car on AVG on average? For a long time, 3 or 5 year car loans were the norm, but more and more people are choosing long-term auto loans. And 2022, I guess, is like probably the best thing here. New car payments average $648 a month. The average term length was 69 months. So let's just go 70 divided by 12. 70 divided by 12. That's not too bad. That's 6 years. 6 years of paying 600 or 700 bucks. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And so, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I think because you guys remember I grew up over here in Tacoma. Trust me, it looks like a nice place, but it's it has its ghetto side, I guess, because I grew up over here, and the poor side. I wanted the nice fancy stuff, and I treat myself every now and again, but I treat myself to modest stuff like, you know, a ring, a chain. This chain costs like 800 bucks at Macy's, but I bought it on a July 4th sale or something like that, and it only cost like $150. I ain't paying 600 bucks for a chain. This ring costs $300. This ring costs 500 bucks. I did spruce up a little bit for it, but I wanted to get one nice ring for myself when I go out. But you know, I grew up in this area over here, which was I mean, I guess it's been all demolished, and now they have nice houses. But I used to live here at one point. I think maybe somewhere around here, one of these houses. I grew up here for like maybe 2 years because they moved us from the places they tore down to over here. I think I lived in one of these houses, not the front ones, but they kind of have like these weird little like inlet areas. Yeah, it was like one of these houses over here or something like that. But it wasn't a pleasant spot, I tell you that. It looks like a pleasant spot now, but here. South Shan, Tacoma, 90s. Tacoma Housing Authority. No, let's go over here. Let's see. Wait for it. I've told you guys this before. Salishan in the 1990s. I'm a 1994 baby. By the late 1980s, Salishan had become a center for gang activity, and drug trading was increasingly viewed by burdensome by the residents of Tacoma. I can probably see why. It was affecting property rights, crime rates, whatever. So in 1990, Salishan reported 331 violent crimes for a rate of nearly 1 per day. And remember, all Salishan is... go back over here to those maps. All Salishan is this area. Okay? So within this area, 1 violent crime a day. And if you're like me, again, this isn't the layout that it used to be. It used to be like different style. It used to be like a single floor duplexes, a little bit not nice. But within this area, 1 violent crime a day. And if you're like any other kid, you take your bike and you ride over here, you ride over there, you ride in the back areas where there's nobody over there. There's like a dirt racing track over here now. Now you got some parking. Oh, they got parking lots here. You can walk. Oh, it's opened. Oh, that's cool. But anyway, this has always been closed as far as I'm concerned. Like we used to go over here with like lighters and matches and light shit on fire because you had like 8 feet tall, no, like 5 feet tall anthills, which are really chill. But really chill to burn, I guess you could say. And then this wasn't the school that I went to. The school I went to had like, before I got on private school scholarship, I had like it's not a building per se. It's like you have these portables. That's what they're called, portables. You have class and portables. So yeah, First Creek Middle School, it's a totally different school than it was before. But yeah, so I've always been like, hey, I think there has to be a new movement in the country where people just realize like, hey, you don't have to spend all of your money. Now that means that America doesn't have as much growth though. So I don't think any politician would ever push such a thing, because if somebody pays that 700 bucks a month for a new car, they got a new car. It's nice. It's probably a little luxurious in it, right? But that means they really just don't have 700 bucks to go do with whatever they want to. Meanwhile, me, you know, you can go over here somewhere, and I just feel like I'm opening up new windows every now and again now. But like, and there's a 10% car sales tax here in Washington State. Plus you got the excise taxes and stuff like that. It's expensive to own a nice car. My grandparents have a new Mercedes, and they got a new Acura, like really nice like car Acura, and they have like an SUV Acura. They pay a shit ton for fees and everything like that. I don't even, retirement must be nice if you got money, but if you don't, holy crap, it seems like it's just a nightmare. Used cars, Tacoma, okay? I haven't had to buy a car in a while. Cars.com seems like a good place to go, maybe. All right. So I don't even want an SUV. I just want to search within 50 miles for a used car. Price and payment, I don't know. I want to find a great deal or a good deal and a great deal. I don't know. Those types of things. Okay. What's a clean title? See, I don't know this type of stuff. No accidents report. I don't want to have my car be an accident. And I want the body style to be a sedan because I think sedans are usually the cheapest of them. I'm not getting no convertible or anything like that. Okay. And I just want a sedan. Okay. There we go. We're not even going for anything else. Just, and these are sedans? Or these are sponsored or something? Oh, I see sponsored. It's freezing on me here. Oh, okay, here we go. Like, these are the prices you pay nowadays. But here's one from 2019. I wish it would show me the picture of it. It's a 2019 Kia Forte with 44,000 miles. I'm guessing this is what's considered a good deal nowadays, right? $256 a month maybe, right? But, you know, I'd still rather drive this car than pay $700 a month for years and years and years. And honestly, $15,000, you could pay that off within like a couple of years if you really wanted to, maybe 3 years or so. But the longer it takes to pay, you know, the more it costs for the rent, everything like that, for the loan and stuff like that. But I'm the type of guy that'd be fine buying that. Would I want to? No, but I don't have a fancy car right now. But look at this, 4,000 miles, $56,000 for a Kia Stinger. No. $25,000 for 24,000 miles for a 2022 Hyundai Elantra. No. 2015 Lexus IS 350 base, $25,000 for 86,000 miles. No. Hertz 2022 BMW $42,000 for 27,000 miles. No. Like, all of this just seems weird. But at the same time, I would not pay $9,000 for a 2009 Ford Fusion SEL. I wouldn't do that at all. And you know what? This is like one of the cars that I have. I have this almost exact same car. My car is a 2000 Ford Fusion SEL. Right, so mine looks more like this. You probably see them on the streets all over the place. I would have to imagine they're a pretty common car. It's like this, a little bit nicer, but there's no fanciness to it. Oh, it has the premium audio, the Sony audio. It has like lights that pop up inside the car. It has some nice little cool things in it. But it's by no means a BMW, an Acura, like a luxury model car. Basically, it's your normal go to work, go home sedan car. But you know, if you can get that on a good deal, oh boy, you know you're going to be a lot happier, right? So we have a spending problem in America because the marketing guys in America are just the best marketing guys in the world. And trust me, I used to be a marketing guy. People are not as hard to move as they once were. And I think that's because in this digital age, people are more easily programmed to buy what they want. Remember, just back in the 90s, before we really had phones and everything like that could really plug us into the internet 24/7, all we really had to look at was commercials, right? Maybe I think people, my mom used to clip clippings and stuff like that from the mail. So you got the mail, and you got the news, you got the TV, and you got the radio. I think those are the three main ways you got advertisements. Maybe door-to-door salesmen or something like that. But that seems a little specific, right? But what ended up happening, guys? Over time, we got. I don't even know where my phone is right now. Nope, I think I left my phone upstairs. Oh no, it's in my pocket. Before we got these phones, you know, I mean, now that we have these phones, you know, I get messages all the time from Snapchat to go, hey, look at this Snap story. Hey, Facebook, look at this thing. Look at YouTube, look at this video. And then whenever you do one of those things, there's an ad right there attached to it, right? If I go to YouTube, I watch a random video, there's an ad there. If I go to Facebook, there's an ad there. When I go to Twitter, there's an ad there. Everywhere has ads. So we're trained to believe that we want to buy something. Even when I go over here to Amazon, you know, buy a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I just bought this thing. I just bought this thing. No, I didn't buy the mic thing. Yeah, I'm going to buy it here pretty soon. I was going to buy this thing, not for me, but for my mom. I just don't know how to actually work it. Buy again, you know, I got my coffee beans, I got my Gain to make my laundry smell all nice and fresh, because Loki likes to roll around in my laundry, make it dirty, and they get like flea and stick stuff for Loki. But what do you call? You know, every now and again I have to buy something expensive, like a, you know, a new workout bike or something like that. But you know, I'm not buying anything really expensive. It's kind of you know, simple stuff. I don't think most people, if they had a lot of excess money, I think nowadays a lot of the excess cash goes to spending stuff. Whereas I will hoard my money and then spend it frugally. And then when I do go spend it, I don't care about how much the cost is to go get it. Like yesterday, for example, and I go back to your question, I'm on kind of a weird little rant right now. A couple days ago, I really felt like I wanted some oysters. And not like cooked oysters or clams at a restaurant, but like actually like shucked oysters where I can eat it at a restaurant with a nice view. And so I was looking all over the place, like where can I freaking get oysters in Tacoma? Because I usually get oysters up in Seattle and I rarely go up to Seattle. So I'm like, I'm not going up to Seattle for oysters. So what did I do? I found a restaurant. It's called, oh God, I don't know. Let's go back to maps, Tacoma. Something in Stefords and Stamps or something. I don't know. It's one of those old school restaurants where it used to be very expensive. It still is very expensive, but now they have more of a trendy menu for younger people who can afford it, I guess. And happy hour. They have a really good happy hour menu. That's the way to say it. So you go over here. Emerald Queen Casino. I used to live over here. Oh, here it is. Stanley and Seaforts, okay? So it's like this little restaurant. This is not a good neighborhood. But this restaurant is a very nice restaurant. They got like a little place where the, what do you call those people? Like you can drop your car off there if you want to, but valet people here basically. Stanley and Seaforts is what it's called. But I was sitting right here at this table in the corner, and I know, can I show you guys a picture of this? I don't think it'll show up too well here, but let me give it a shot. All right. I'm going to give it my best shot here. Just the face. There we go. Okay, you can see my bad, what do you call it right now? My bad kitchen. See how there's kind of a view right there? But yeah, it's kind of a view like that. What's my proper one? Display. There we go. Okay. But yeah, basically, it's a nice place, is the point I'm trying to make. But they have a really good menu here, which I was really surprised about because I had just found it the other day. Let me see if I can find it right here. Menu. All right. So they have some. They have happy hour menu. Okay. So they have crispy fried calamari for $8. It was a massive plate of really good calamari. They have stuffed cremini mushrooms. They have hot crab and artichoke dip. I want to try that one. I'm gonna try it next time. You know, 2 things is enough for me for appetizers. And I had like one little small meal thing. But the alcohol is where it really surprised me. You can get $4 domestic Coors Light, $5 craft, your beers and whatnot. Look at this. Exotic mojito. I had one of these. It was great. Then I had a rose-colored lenses with the Malfi Rosa Gin, Aperol, real passion fruit puree, and lime. It was delicious. Then I had a botanical berry mule. $16, $26 for 3 cocktail drinks. $26. One drink in Seattle cost you about $20, even $22 in some cases, okay? As low as maybe 16 if you're lucky. But, you know, I will pay for that, and then I get my nice little food, whatever I want to do there. And then you got like, what, $16 plus $26? I'm not even going to try to do the math there. 26 plus 16, I think it was. Maybe it was 18, I don't know. Like $42 for all that. And you get one main meal. It's like $30, so you add $30 to it. That's like $72 plus like a $10 tip, something like that. And you have a nice meal. Now, technically, I had a nice meal, but then I had like the $22 oysters, so there's like more like $90. But $90 for myself for a meal, I don't even think of that as expensive anymore because that's just kind of the norm. I'm okay spending anywhere from $50 to $150 for just myself to have a few drinks and a nice meal. When I was younger, I might have only spent like $15 and that was an expensive meal to me. But now, you know, inflation's kind of got everything up and whatnot. But, you know, there are times where I feel like I don't have to care about money. But when it comes to large purchases like a house or a car, oh, screw that. I'm going frugal. Again, why I'm looking for places to live like in El Salvador, not El Salvador, Nicaragua, Ecuador, Panama, stuff like that. Reason why, right? And now even me moving over to Ecuador, now I'm starting to wonder because Ecuador, no, not Ecuador real estate, just Ecuador news. Right now, Ecuador is having a surge in violence due to gangs and whatnot, and I'm like, oh shit. You know, I'm more worried about stuff over there now. And I still think it's fine. I'm gonna go over there for a couple weeks next year. I'm gonna go to a couple different spots, then relax at the end of it in Mexico and Cancun or something. But you know, I could afford to go to Cancun if I wanted to. That was something I saw a lot of my friends do growing up that I really wanted to do. But now that I'm older, like I've never had a reason to go to Cancun. Never, like for Christmas or vacation, like, you know, what's spring break. Never could afford it. Never even bothered to ask for the money because I didn't want to put that strain on the family, right? Because they might have tried to do it because all my friends were able to do it. But now I can, so I am. But you know, I'm waiting until I'm 20 freaking 8 years old before I actually do make the move, right? But what do you call? What's going on right here? And hey, Mattis, as far as Dogecoin's concerned, yes, it could do that pretty easily. The hard part is knowing where that average is gonna be. So when you're talking about anything, this is any token right now. Do you think it's already had its low for this cycle, or do you think it could go even lower? There are certain coins in different spots right now, so I'll say just yes on the premise of it, but you have to have a decent average. The average is all that matters at this point, the average of what you buy it. So we got Bitcoin right here. That's at a relatively high point in its cycle. We've had a low point here with FTX, all the drama around there. And just getting closer and closer to Sam Bankman-Fried's trial. Just keep that in the back of your wallet there, back of your mind. But we're at a high point. But if you go somewhere like ADA, you know, it's actually already made new lows since December. And it could be making even newer lows over the next few months here, right? So not as good. Dogecoin, one of the most resilient crypto coins out there. It has been holding and holding and holding, but it's still kind of at a low point here, right? So there's still a chance it could break down. XRP, a little bit different, as all of you guys know, because this thing has been embroiled in a court battle, so its whole chart is different than anything else out there. But it's looking a lot better. Unfortunately for this, though, at this point in time, nope. We're on this weird verge of a breakdown right now, right? Ape token, need I say more? AVAX, AXS, Bitcoin Cash had a big boom a while ago, holding up okay. Matic even, right? BNB, Chili's, Crow, Sheeb, actually okay with Sheeb. Dot, Dogecoin Mars, Engine, you know, so it matters a lot, right? It really all just depends on where you get the average. The safest play is always going to be trying to go into Ethereum or Bitcoin, because we know that Bitcoin already ran up to like $69,000-$70,000. It can definitely go higher than that during the next bull run. We know Ethereum can go much higher, so that one right there. Those are the safest amount. That's the safest place I put my money always. If you put in large amounts of capital, the majority of it for me would always go towards those two. If you want to go to a higher risk level, then you start thinking of Matic, Dogecoin, XRP, but that's a higher risk level there, right? We don't assume they're going to drop off and go into nothingness, but we don't necessarily know how much further they have to fall if they do break down through like a recession or something like that, which can make people very, very scared and, you know, worried about what's going on. So yes, but be very, very careful. Dogecoin, Matic, the Bitcoin Cash, that second tier of things is always a little bit more problematic. So you got to be very careful about it, because let's say you put $10,000 into just one of them. That $10,000 could turn into $5,000, $4,000, $3,000 before maybe going to $15,000, $20,000 down the road. So the simplest way to do it would just be do dollar cost averaging to kind of make that system a little bit easier. That buying process, excuse me, a little bit easier, because you know, again, what was one of the coins we just looked at a while ago? ADA. It's already like about to make new lows here for the cycle again, and Bitcoin's not even anywhere near its lows. So let's say Bitcoin takes a dip with all these oscillators kind of coming back down, all the bearish stuff we talked about at the beginning. Let's just say it comes back down here to this level of support around 20,000, 21,000. What do you think ADA is doing during that time? Do you think it's somehow managing to stay alive right there? No, it's falling back down here to like 15 cents or so. And then all of a sudden it's going to be down like another 30, 40%. And then everybody's going to be like, you know? But it's because it already had its big move well before Bitcoin. Bitcoin, in like the scheme of things, is kind of around here. And it, you know, had that uptrend, it had that breakdown. Bitcoin had that uptrend. It's just now starting that breakdown. But of course, Bitcoin kind of leads the way most of the time. We don't know if Bitcoin's really going to break down from here. I'd probably assume it does over the next few months, but I'll leave it at that. But what happens to all those other altcoins? Does Dogecoin break down? Does ADA break down? Does XRP break down? ApeCoin? Do all those coins break down further? Which I'd probably say they do. Or, but I mean, you know, that gives you opportunities to do dollar cost averaging, but you got to go in there a very safe way. And even then, you know, I might not even do your standard dollar cost averaging as far as buying a little bit every week or every month. I might just buy during the most craziest points in the market where everything else is just going batshit crazy, where you see extreme fear in real time and you're like, oh, I should take a position on this. Because what it allows you to do is a few different things. It allows you to kind of, hey, look at this, I'll buy down here or even buy down here, whatever. You'll be able to make money on the upside here. You buy down here, you can try to sell it for a little bit of gain down the road and then put the money back in there. There's a whole bunch of opportunities for you to take there. But really, as long as you know you're going to be holding this for a while, is the big thing. You don't have to worry about the panic of watching it go down further and further and further, because you understand if it makes another huge drop down to 21,000 or something, well, hey, I can just buy some over here. And it's all part of my plan because, you know, let's say you're doing my strategy and going with Bitcoin or Ethereum instead of a Dogecoin or an ADA or something like that. You know that it's with those two, no matter what happens, they're going to be just fine. Now, Dogecoin, it kind of is just going to be fine just because of what Elon Musk is going to be doing with it. But still, in my opinion, I would still put more faith in Bitcoin and Ethereum, even though I think Dogecoin's going to be just fine. You know, I still have tens of thousands of dollars locked into Dogecoin right now, so you know it's just sitting there. But I'm not necessarily looking to do anything with it anytime soon. But I understand it's at a greater risk, and it's going to maybe give me a greater reward, right, than you would say with a Bitcoin or Ethereum at the same time. All right, there we go. And hey, Puma, happy to see you. Crazy life changes, but I hope all is well. Things are going pretty well for me. I hope they're going well for you, my man. How's crypto as a whole? We're kind of in a very weak spot right now. I know you probably watched the beginning of the video with the dollar talk and whatnot, but the dollar has gained some unexpected strength, and now we're starting to see that strength manifest in a lot of bearish moves for the whole market. You know, this goes for crypto and stocks. So here's inflation, basically. We had that uptick back over here in July. It kind of symbolized, even though it was still very low, it symbolized the fact that maybe inflation is going to be very sticky going forward. We'll really have a good idea about this in the next upcoming inflation report, next CPI report. But it kind of ticked up a little bit. So when we saw that tick up, people started to get a little bit more worried. So a lot of momentum really just dropped off a cliff, and I mean really, really fast. So in July over here, Bitcoin kind of found its high for this cycle, or, you know, this last few months, and we came back down plummeting. NASDAQ also found its high in July. Now, not looking nearly as bearish as Bitcoin, but it's fine. Dow Jones found a little bit of a high, very close to breaking down for the Dow Jones. The NASDAQ is very close to breaking down as well here. It might happen next few weeks or so, but we're still above it. Dow Jones, like I said, on the verge of breaking down. SPY, same concept, got stopped right there with the dollar getting stronger. And we've already had the SPY breakdown out of one uptrend. Now we're looking to see what happens if it comes all the way back down here to, let's say 420, 423 or something. Because right now we at least have the 20-week moving average here. Usually doesn't matter too much, but you can see how it lends us a little bit of support. But usually when we start approaching this, one thing about the SPY is it gets choppy, good or bad, you know, green or red candles. It just starts getting very choppy around the zone. And we actually haven't been too choppy. We've just been going up, which is a very good feeling, but about to get choppy. And when the SPY gets choppy, people seem to panic quite a bit because people are taking very large bets either way. And, you know, sometimes people tend to over leverage themselves into the market. So when it does go bad, they really are in a pinch, right? But yeah. So as far as Ethereum and everything like that, Ethereum broke down. It broke down just, you know, last week. We're like barely staying above the 50 and the 200 weekly moving averages. But on top of that, you know, we had a death cross right here. Did that really do anything? A small move down. Now we have another death cross. Is that going to do anything? I mean, I guess a small move down, right? I guess a larger move down here. But what's going to happen here is we have the 20 cross down below the 200. We're seeing all these bearish signals come along. And again, it's not just the crypto market, it's the stock market too. So we're kind of in a guessing game. Are we looking at a larger crash that's going to last for a few months? Or are we looking for less of a crash and more of a multi-month consolidation period, or even a monthly consolidation period where we have maybe 3-4 weeks where we just kind of go sideways for a bit, and then we continue breaking out and going to new all-time highs for certain stocks and things kind of balance out? I'm more of, I guess, the non-consolidation view, where maybe we break down a little bit more, not like hit all-time low, like new lows or anything like we did last year, but still come down a little bit more. I'm more in that camp. If you watch the CNBCs and the Fox businesses and the Bloombergs, they're saying right now is pretty much the time to buy because we're almost done consolidating and we're going to kind of go up higher down the road. But I mean, it all depends on how you think about the market. I'm usually much more of a pessimist than a lot of other people. That kind of kills me sometimes, but I'm just kind of more consistent in my gains. But if we go over here to economy, maybe. Don't know if U.S. markets, maybe. I kind of just want to hear the stories about the markets themselves, but I think they might just make me pay for that or something here. Investing Club, full episodes, maybe latest videos. Looks getting technical with the S&P 500 to see where stocks are headed. Let's watch this. This is there's gonna be an ad here, so I'm gonna like scroll down for a second. Oh, there's no ad there. I don't know when this was shared. Oh, 2 hours ago. Okay, so 2 hours ago. So you heard all my bearish talk, but we're not broken down yet. So let's kind of see what happened. But let's see what they say. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn this music off. I'm gonna come over here and make sure the audio is full blast. I want to be able to hear the audio too. And we'll just kind of see what the experts say. And again, I wouldn't claim that I'm an expert, but these guys, from a media perspective, they are experts, okay? So volume is up all the way. Let's see.
It was soaring, having its strongest performance for the first 7 months of the year since 1997. It has now stumbled in August, down 3.5%. So we're turning to the charts to see what the technicals are now signaling. Let's bring in Katie Stockton, Fairlead Strategies managing partner and a CNBC contributor. Katie, August down.
They're most biased. The monthlies still look. So we track some just that, not the beginning of something more awful.
Pullback taking us in terms of the S&P trend, in terms of what may come next.
Well, you know, the corrective phase to me is just that, not the beginning of something more awful. I think it is temporary. And I think it will last probably another few weeks based on our indicators. So we track some gauges, of which they're mostly pointing lower, as you can imagine. We look at daily charts for a short-term bias, weekly charts for an intermediate-term bias, and then monthlies, of course, for a long-term bias. The monthlies still look fine. The weeklies, however, we do have some deterioration, and you can see.
That's what I was just talking about. We just come to different conclusions with how bad it may get, I guess you would say, right?
Part here on the chart that the stochastics have rolled over. The stochastics are in the bottom window there, and they measure overbought, oversold conditions. So it is measurable. It's not just words we use. And you can see they're pointing lower, and there's room to oversold territory. What we want to see from the market.
Within the stochastic indicator from the halfway point to where it is now, you could even see those higher lows. And the fact that it's currently breaking down those higher lows right now based off of that weekly chart, that trend that was up there.
It is an upturn in those weekly stochastics because that would suggest that the corrective phase is maturing.
Back here, we did kind of have this turn higher without really getting washed out. I mean, did that tell us anything there in terms of what might be in for right now?
You know, when we do see that oscillator hold up around that midpoint, around 50%, as opposed to getting fully oversold, that actually tends to be a good thing.
Oh,
so
okay.
if we saw that this time around, it means the market almost didn't have to get oversold to regenerate that buying interest. So we'd love to see that again. I suspect we might not. We obviously have some very weak seasonal influences as we come into September. And I'm not one to make a recommendation based on that, but certainly when this setup happens at that time, it would add to it.
One of the biggest drivers of the technicals, I think, has been the consumer discretionary stocks. I think it was the best sector of the year going into August. It probably still is. A lot of the things that we heard during this earnings season, and then a lot of deterioration in the XRT names, a lot of the big XLY names. Is that an area of concern for you? Is that one of the things that you're watching as possibly secondary confirmation that?
Okay, so I know I'm kind of stopping this every now and again. I also don't want to get in trouble for playing too much of a CNBC video. But if I go over here to the screener, it's pretty much consumer defensive of what he's talking about. Let me go to charts. Maybe I should actually just go over here to overview, maybe. Yeah, trying to think if there's anything. Market cap, large. Clorox Company, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Conagra Brands, Bunge Limited, British American Tobacco, Anheuser-Busch. These companies ringing a bell for most of you guys. Kroger, Kraft Heinz, Kellogg, those type of companies, okay? That's what's kind of worrying Jim, I think, on this part. Blah, blah, blah.
We're still in for a rough few weeks?
Yeah, definitely. The leading sectors, that obviously includes discretionary, probably less so retail, which has been more of a lagging subgroup, if you will. It certainly is contributing to it. It's very normal for these leading sectors, technology included, communication services. Of course, these are mega cap heavy sectors as well. But again, there we think it's temporary, something that should be prevalent during the corrective phase. But as we come out of this corrective phase, we would expect those same leading sectors to resume their leadership position.
So you don't see a rotation brewing or some sudden shift to another sector?
Not a lasting one, not yet.
Okay.
And we had the 40-week average on there for the S&P. Is that a downside target? You think we're going to revisit that?
You know, I don't think we'll get back there necessarily. The support that we're watching,
like 41, 4,200?
So we're watching about just shy of 4,200 is some support based on a Fibonacci retracement level that we're watching.
I love hearing
also,
like
you can go back to that February peak and see some former resistance as potential support. So 4180 to 4195. But as mentioned with the indicators, we look for a setup, not just a level to trigger a re-entry.
Sure. So we're talking a couple hundred S&P.
I think we have another. I think we have the weekend forecast. What's on top weather-wise?
Yes. So you do have another idea that looks like a chart that's poised to grab onto.
Well, it's tough, right? Because we're not recommending taking on new equity exposure right now. We want to wait to do that. So we have to get a little bit creative at times to find new actionable ideas. In our writing, we've been doing more on the short side just to take advantage of the downside. But this time around, we want to bring a chart of the uranium ETF, or URNM. And this ETF, it has exposure to uranium miners, so a very small sort of subgroup there. And yet notice that we have a triangle formation. And Mike, I know that you're very adept at this telestrator here, but the narrowing series of highs and lows, and now a breakout from that triangle.
Okay, we don't have to talk about uranium and stuff like that. You guys already know I was talking about uranium when as soon as Niger had his coup, and I was like, oh, that's most of the uranium for Europe, or like 20% of the uranium for Europe. But news brings that up, so you could buy you buy because of the way that what the news is telling you. But she was actually good. Now, she's saying again more corrective phase. I think it's a little bit. I think I might actually agree with her a little bit because she's not as bullish as I think the people that you normally see on CNBC. She's not a normal person. She's like a guest they had on. Most people you see on CNBC, they tend to be like the guy on the gym on the right hand side and the other two on the right hand side. They're more like, hey, let's have this 5% pullback and be done with it. Consolidate. We've already kind of passed 5% at this point, so you know. If you guys don't have a life like me and you guys are watching CNBC, Fox Business, and Bloomberg, they kind of change their minds a lot, which is why I don't necessarily like listen to them so much for their analytical stuff. But when they have a special guest like that, which I didn't see because obviously I don't watch CNBC 24/7, I actually liked what she had to say. Now she dumbed down a lot of her intelligence, I have to say, for just TV purposes, because you know it's not like she can drag up the Fibonacci levels like I can and stuff like that. Where let me see what the Fibonacci level she was actually talking about here, because we know we had the first breakdown here, right? We still have this larger level of support, so let's get rid of this. But Fibonacci levels, there we go. She's probably talking that we don't even break down below this one. This is probably what she's talking about. And I think she said she had the 40-week EMA on there. I think that's what she said, 40-week EMA. So let me add this on here. And it's just going to be a white line. Maybe that'll pop out right over here. Was it a 40-week? Maybe it was a... Yeah, 40-week MA. So it's not an EMA, my bad. This is just a regular one. So I'll just move the green one over here very fast just for a second to 40. Oh, that's really far off. I'm not even gonna try. I don't know exactly what moving average she was using right there. But yeah, so basically, make sure this is right. Okay, that's 20-week. You can see that there's a Fibonacci level right here. Now that kind of matches up with 430. I think that's what they were talking about a little bit more. Maybe we come all the way back down here to 413 or something like that. But we have that Fibonacci level right there. Hopefully we can hold. I guess I'm more of the view that we're probably not going to hold it. But I'm not saying we can't bounce before breaking down. I guess that's a better way to show it. But we'll see. You know, will we have lower highs over here over the next few, like a month or so, or what's going to happen there? But overall, I think that lady was actually much better than I thought she was going to be. So, you know, I was going into it like maybe I don't really believe what she say. No, she's smart. She's a smart person. Plus, anybody that can give technical analysis in heels has my respect. Every time I see a woman in heels like hers, I'm just like, how do people survive? Your feet must hurt at the end of the day. I'm a tennis shoe type of guy. I wish, actually, I don't know any women in a corporate environment who don't wear heels. I think it's just kind of implied that you have to wear them, or it's like formal attire. But I mean, at a certain point, you can wear those flat shoes. I don't know what they're called, flat tops, whatever. But yeah, high heels just seem like the death of people these days. And the work environment, because you just kind of walk. Maybe they're just sitting down all day, but I doubt it. All right, let's see what's going on over here very fast. And hey, Irvin, happy to see you back. Just talked about the state of crypto and stocks a few seconds ago. Can I look at STMX? I sure can. Do I have it on here? It's somewhere on here, I believe. I do not have it on here. Why don't I have it on here? Can I not add it? Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's get rid of some of this squiggle. So since the last time we talked about it, it did look like it held support until it didn't. Broke down below the 50-week moving average, found support at the 20-week moving average. It looks like it'll most likely continue to fall down here, especially as Bitcoin's looking to have maybe another drop here over the next few weeks. You're looking for some more bearish death crosses here, which is kind of sucks. Yeah, there you go. That simple breakdown right there was all it took. We were hoping for something of a breakout. Unfortunately, did not go our way. There was a lot of different charts that look like this, Ken. I'm pretty sure you knew that. But what do you call? So we had the breakdown. Next level of support, if we have a really strong one. Let me see. Because this thing, I don't know which one to trust right now, because I feel that wick right there. Did any of this really make sense here? That made sense. I guess that made sense. I guess that, okay, it did work out for us a little bit. Yeah, that next level of support really isn't too strong. It's really all the way back down here towards 0.004259. This is still going to be something where I think of it as a longer term play. Because even right now, if I just get rid of this, this is also what we saw break down right there. That's what we also saw. There we go. So we had that longer term breakdown here. Tried to retest, not doing so well at the moment. So we're still seeing the breakdown. I would still be a little bit more hesitant to be buying back into this. Again, it's a little bit different with STMX, as you know, because every now and again, STMX just pops out of nowhere. People want to buy into it. This is one of those companies that's actually a company that actually has revenue. They actually make money. So, people still have reasons to be buying into. You can see all these spikes. Like, these spikes may not seem like a lot, but it does have a lower market cap. So, like, from here to here, like, 3 days, it ran up 40%. Let's just go from the average over here. A few days, it ran up like they're another 33%. So it does have some stronger moves on its side, but still, I would still be in the dollar cost average phase. And then eventually, this is something where you might even just want to put $5 a week into it, $5 every other week. Because overall, the market cap for this is, I would still assume, is pretty low. Whoa, this is a new layout for Coinbase, coinmarketcap.com. Market cap. Yeah. Right now it's at a $52 million market cap. So really, it still seems like it wants to be going down here. After it had a nice little rally over the past few weeks. I mean, like, what was this rally after once it started getting going? Yeah, 275%. It's still in that cool off period. Everybody that bought up here is still kind of getting forced out of the market, which is kind of sad because eventually, like, they'll probably get back up there eventually. Maybe not next month or so, unless we have a big spike, but next few months is probably a good chance to get back up there. But yeah, still looking pretty weak. I'd be very careful if you want to hop into it. MACD wise, you can already see the crossover was way over here. It worked out if you follow the MACD, I guess you could say. But you haven't seen the momentum kind of build back up to say, hey, maybe you should get back into this right now. Yeah, still a little slow for me. I know we just did the retracement levels, but they were only so-so. I would really just not buy into this just yet. You look at all these death crosses about to happen. Death cross there, then the 20 crossing below 200. Then eventually over the next few weeks, you're going to see the 50 cross down below the 200 daily moving average. The 4-hour chart here. A short-term long could be good if you're looking for the next few hours or days. That could be good. Next few weeks maybe a little bit more different, but Bitcoin's on the verge of a nice little pop for the next few hours. You can see if you get a big spike up there, but this is a traditional breakout where you're looking something of more of the style of, I mean, this dumper is so big, what does it even do to the trend-based Fibonacci extension here? Yeah, so that matches up with that level of resistance. So, you got your first level of resistance right up here if you want to take it, 0.00538.6. And then you got the other one up here around 0.005635, and then it really gets back up here towards this level of resistance over here. I would really just think of this as a golden zone to be selling anywhere, and I'd be very happy with it. Even up here, I'd be happy, but you really want to see if it can get that big move there. Anything up here, you got really lucky, you're very happy, but you're selling like 95% if it gets up here for any reason. You're not going to have hardly anything left, and if it goes up here, you can sell at your own discretion, or short at your own discretion at that point, right? But yeah, it's okay. Short term seems to be actually okay for a nice little, maybe a little bullish move right here. Longer term, but next week or two, just be a little bit more cautious, because most likely if we make our move back up here, I know it's a bunch of squiggles now, but probably going to get pushed back down quite rapidly unless Bitcoin can find a way to actually have a larger sustainable bullish move here, which might only happen for Bitcoin for the next 1 or 2 weeks as we try to bounce off of that main Ganfeng level. That can give STMX a little bit of holding time, but still, I'd be more cautious about the next few weeks here, especially as the stock market looks like it wants to go down as well here. All right, there we go. Let's go to a 4-hour chart here to kind of just watch it out. And what's right here? I know I'm looking at a bunch of old messages now. Trump was doing the blue steel look. That photo was crazy. It was wild. And that Cryptid Sniper, thanks for sharing. I thought your old Bitcoin chart with the combined 15-minute chart was awesome. Is there any reason why you changed it? I still have a Bitcoin 15-minute chart up. So basically, I have 4 streams up right now. So there's my stream. I'm talking to you guys right now. Here's one with a 4-hour chart. So this is a 4-hour chart right here. Let me make sure the volume is off. So 4-hour chart. Basically, this is just 4 hours with a Ganfeng on it. We can see the Ganfeng right there. We broke above it. found support, broke down below it, heading back to that same order block that we've had for a while. But then it has a super trend on it, and then it has a smart money concepts indicator on it as well. But for this one here, oh, the what do you call it? I'll have to fix it after the stream. The liquidation chart is off a little bit. But basically, this is a 4-hour chart. No, this is a 1-hour chart. Sorry, not a 4 chart. This is a 1-hour chart. And if you want to learn the directions to this, it's down below. The directions are. But then we have the Bitcoin, Dogecoin chart. This is a 15-minute chart for each. You see the patterns, the strong downward signals, the buy signals, stuff like that. I usually just prefer to use the not so much the signals, but actually just the breakdowns from the trends, and then this little support and resistance zone in the middle right here. Then you got the Bitcoin chart right here with the order blocks, yada yada yada, change of character right there. It's gonna put a little bit higher since then, yada yada yada. And then blah blah blah. We got this one. This is the 15-minute Bitcoin chart. I think it is. Yeah, 15-minute Bitcoin chart right here. I think this is a 15-minute chart. All come back. It's something like that, okay? I think it's a 15-minute chart, but it could be a 5-minute chart. I doubt it. But what do you call there's people talking in there right now. And then there's this chart. And then after that, there's this chart over here, which is a 15-minute chart of different things. So there's a 15-minute XRP chart, a 15-minute Bitcoin chart, a 15-minute Ethereum chart, and a 15-minute Solana chart. And most of the time, this thing is pretty good. I don't think this thing has smart money. It does not. So this one does not have smart money concepts on it. I wanted to do it, but for whatever reason, when I did it, imagine this chart like this. It would always squeeze it, so no matter what happened, the chart would look like that. And that's not such a fun thing to look at for if you guys are going to be sticking around for like 5-20 minutes on a video, right? So I couldn't put it there. But even still, you can see, there's a buy signal there on XRP. It worked out okay. A sell signal right here. You had like a cool 40 minutes for it going down. Then you had to, find your support level and whatnot. Sell right here. Guess what? It worked out for like a half an hour. Nothing too crazy. Right here, you had about a half an hour. I guess a few hours technically, but, might have got your stop loss as you moved it down. Might have hit back up here. So yeah. So they're all different types, but I still have the 15-minute one. It's just I have so many streams on right now. A while ago, I was telling you guys that I wanted to get 4 or 5, even one day up to 7 streams on here. And I don't know if you guys remember it, but Secret Fish donated like $500 for that. And so I've been like running a whole bunch of tests for it, basically. And so I could oh shit, scared me. Loki's over here. What do you call But basically, I was finally able to kind of figure out what everybody wanted, what was going to work out okay, and what I'm okay with getting views, what I'm okay for not getting views, because at the end of the day, I'm okay losing a little bit of money on them, technically, but I just want people to actually use them is the thing. I don't care if I lose money if people are using it, but if nobody's watching it, and I'm losing money, then I'm like, well, what the heck am I doing? No, that's not a good investment, right? But yeah, so I have a bunch of streams on right now for that. Let me get back out of here very fast. But yeah, there's still a 15-minute Bitcoin stream, I believe. And hey, Christine, make that shirt. There's probably already shirts out there with that Trump picture on it, because it is a crazy picture. And hey, Redback, respect for your time, buddy. I heard you're going through ADHD. We found out that my sister child also has the same problem. Please recommend some sort of things to help through life. Okay, so I'm kind of a weird case because I didn't find out I had ADHD till I was like 26. My mom and grandparents knew apparently, but they said there was a stigma, so I was never told. So I really just thought I was somewhat stupid. So let them know they have ADHD and that they should use all the tools that schools have, and that includes elementary, middle school, high school, college, because there's all these types of resources that they have for you, literally built into the system. Your tax dollars pay for this stuff, so make sure they're able to use it. I was not good academically because I could not work at a fast pace like everybody else. Even when I worked in corporate America, I was a marketing manager, marketing director for a while. Most people have their 9-to-5 jobs. I'm like a 9-to-8 job person because I can't do the same work as everybody else. Now, like investing and stuff like that, it's not the same as corporate work, so I can kind of like do that well after like, you know, taking a few years to learn, obviously. But there's tons of resources. Use them. If the question comes down to medication down the road, speak with your doctor. I'm not a medical expert. Just understand that there are like ADHD medication can help, but make sure if you do medications, you're really asking them how they feel every single day. Like, how does it make you feel? You feel better, feel worse, you feel more agitated, stuff like that. And then make sure that as she's growing up, she doesn't get a caffeine addiction. I had constant caffeine addictions because, here you go. Because growing up, I didn't know I had ADHD. And if I can maybe I can go to something more scientific or googly than mine. What does caffeine do to people with ADHD? Okay. Some studies have found that caffeine can boost concentration for people with ADHD since it's a stimulant drug, okay? It mimics some of the effects of a stronger stimulant used to treat ADHD. Okay, it mimics the stronger stimulants. So just understand they can get addicted because they're trying to like just be normal. And so they can get addicted to caffeine. And I don't just mean coffee. Like, you guys remember, I still drink a lot of it, but do you guys remember, especially when I was getting stressed out and the bull market was happening and I was busy all the time streaming for you guys, like just constantly streaming? You guys remember what I drank every day? Tea. It had a lot of caffeine in it, so I could focus and concentrate on what was going on. So, but yeah, it's the small. If she's gonna get into something of a caffeine habit, I would say it's better to have tea than it is to have. My data is not coming through. Oh, it's still coming through. Okay. Sorry, I said my video was cutting out for just a second. I was like, man, the man doesn't want me talking about ADHD. But what do you call? Yeah, it's that small stuff, really. I take medication for it when I need to. Sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. It's better to start medication, I guess, maybe when you're younger, because if you take it when you're older, you've already kind of have your personality built around your ADHD and you didn't even know it. Whereas when you're younger, you can kind of, you're still kind of growing into who you are. So the ADHD kind of makes you into who you would be if you didn't have ADHD, basically. It really all depends on the personality and what you're willing to do. By no means is it going to be like crippling to the life, I guess. You know, it's not going to be some like disastrous life or something, but it does present its challenges. But use the resources in the system that's there to help her out, and don't ever make her feel like it's like she should be worried about telling her friends about it, because you'd be surprised how many people have ADHD. You'd be very surprised. There's a lot of people that have it. But some people don't have it severe. Like I have severe ADHD, which is different than the people that maybe just have concentration problems every now and again. And this is one thing that may come in handy. Limit phone time and tablet time. It can be really, I mean, I think it's already bad for kids in the first place, isn't it? But it could, it makes it much worse if you have ADHD because you're really hyper focused and you're overstimulated. So be careful about that. Because when you have ADHD, sometimes if you're overstimulated, you kind of just get into a pattern of life, which is not a good pattern. So it can be a pattern of playing video games all day and forgetting to eat until like midnight or something. Those type of patterns which you want to avoid. But yeah, ADHD, it's not the end of the world. It is a challenge, right? Like to this day, I still have trouble memorizing songs. Like I can't memorize a song very well. Like an actual like singing song. Like, you know, kids these days, even back when I was younger, they can memorize songs. I have trouble memorizing songs. Yeah, I just have a lot of trouble doing it. Can I memorize some songs? Yes, but there's songs like that I've listened to hundreds of times. I can memorize some parts of movies, but I've watched them hundreds of times. Like Lord of the Rings, The Twin Towers. I've watched that a lot of times. I can memorize a lot of the words that they are saying, but you know, it's a little bit different, right? But yeah, just use the resources you have. Man, they are there's a lot of resources there for you. Tesla is finally opening all the restaurants they The restaurants they patent will likely take Doge as payment. Thoughts? With the opening restaurants? I didn't know that. It probably won't do much for Doge's price, to be honest, but it still kind of makes it one of those contenders for the next bull run to make it like, hey, there's still stuff happening, things are good, but Dogecoin is not going to be, from a technical analysis perspective, going crazy, I don't think, from the news. Had gotten a new Toyota using stimulus checks for down payment, but new Toyota might be insane in cost and reasoning. Toyota might get some backlash a few years from now as the car gets older. Yeah, it's an expensive vehicle. A lot of things are expensive. Just a heads up, new Toyota blind spot sensor seems to run about $1,250. That's insane. Like, again, my car, $4,000, like 60,000 miles, something like that. I think that's a pretty good deal, but this was 2013 prices. So before major inflation, right? But you know, it is Montana. It's just a little bit cheaper, no sales tax, stuff like that. But again, cars are just really insane right now. I got a 2015 Camry for $17,500, but luckily I have a job, day trade, and no other kids. Otherwise, see, you got your finances in order. If you guys can afford the car, I'm not saying don't buy it, but I'm saying if you can't afford the car, don't even try to buy it. I guess that's the the main part I'm saying. Larry, you got your life in order. You've been doing it well for a while here. Mustang GT01 and Ford Escape 14. There you go. See, there you go. That's perfect right there. What's right here? Took out Harmony. One place loaded my average big time on the way down. I haven't checked out Harmony in forever. Let's go weekly chart. So this is another one of those coins that's kind of joining the realms of ADA and stuff like that, where we're still coming down and more and more and more. At this point, you can see Bitcoin is probably going to be taking another dip down. You see the stock market probably going to take another dip down. So you're probably going to see this break down and head back down to this next level of support, which happens to be right around here. Maybe even around here. No, I'd probably put more faith in this kind of block right here. So, well, actually, how much is that? That's another 20, 30% down. So you got to be ready for a big move like that to happen. I mean, my eyes. I'm wearing contacts today, so but they're a little dry at the moment, and I don't have contact solution or eye drops anywhere near me. But you are making new lows here, which is not good, especially as Bitcoin has the opportunity to go down another leg, which I'd probably say it probably will, unless we have some big blockbuster news, of course. What are you doing over there, Loki? Here, come here. Come here. Yeah. Yum. All right. Let me go to a monthly chart so I can kind of squeeze everything in here. Let me find the simple order blocks. Oh, no order blocks here. Or did I set it to hide the order blocks in that one? No, I got to change the character there. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Yeah, you're really just entering this new level of, this new breakdown spot. So, breakdown here. That's what you're looking at. It can definitely go a little bit lower, but maybe if I add a Fibonacci level, because I'm still saying the Fibonacci levels probably help this one out a little bit. Yeah, it's hitting it right here. Maybe if I go to log. No, it's already came down past all that crap. All right. There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty close to breaking down here, so it might actually fall the way back down here to 0.0043. Whoa, that's over a 50% loss right there. So be careful with this one. If we go over here. Yeah, it's about a 56% loss right there. So be very careful with this one. This one hasn't been having a good time as of late, but when it pops, it definitely pops. You can make some money off of it. But I'd say be careful here. It's been coming down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row. That's over a month, almost a whole 2 months here. Hopefully get a nice little pop there. Definitely be careful with it though. It definitely does not look like it wants to have a good time here. It's slowed down a little bit. That sell signal was over here. Definitely came down afterwards. I would say if you want to buy any more, I'd have a stop loss really just around 0.00939, or maybe you can go to the lows over here if you want to, like 0.009. Because if it does break down from here, you are going to have a pretty, 30%, 40% loss is pretty hefty, especially if you're averaging down. Might as well take the small loss like that and then just buy back here and save yourself 20, 30, 40%. So be careful with it, because nothing about this looks like it wants to go up anytime soon. But you could even lower that stop loss even more below 9 if you really wanted to. What the heck is going on here? Okay, there we go. Yeah, but just be careful, because if it takes that dip, ooh, that's going to be a plunge of plunges right there. I mean, that's going to be a monster plunge right there. So you have to be very careful with it. It's not the only token that's in that spot that we just talked about a whole bunch. There's a lot of tokens in that same exact spot right now. Specifically, ADA is a big one right there too. Thanks, Khaled. I appreciate it very, very much. And hey, Hero, I'm happy to see you back, my man. What's right here? And hey, the Real Transporter, happy to see you back too. Dogecoin versus SHIB, which one will give better profit in the rebound? I mean, I would say Dogecoin, but SHIB is also pretty good. But I would say Dogecoin because of Elon Musk. SHIB is almost something like, hey, once I see Dogecoin rallying for a few days, I'll invest in SHIB and SHIB will catch up and it'll do its own little thing. But Dogecoin is where I'd put the majority of my money. And specifically for this like next upcoming rally or whether this recession, whatever happens, you know, Dogecoin has managed to hold its value a lot better than Shiba Inu so far. So we go over to monthly chart, Dogecoin. It's holding its value pretty well. We've been going consolidating. If the Dogecoin breaks down, we might head all the way back down to 0.028. That's low. That's really low. But we could still hit it, okay? But when it comes to Shiba Inu, has already come back down to its pre-pop era, right? Because it popped way after Dogecoin started making its parabolic move. But if we start breaking down from here, who knows how far we go. But yeah, so, you know, just be careful with it. But I still think that Shiba Inu is a oh, and Tony, that's good. As long as as long as you're not like putting too much money into Harmony, yeah, it's fine. Just wait for that dump. It'll give you a really good opportunity. When it does dump, you're gonna have a good 48-hour cool swing on the upside there, because that thing loves to have the good rebounds there. Maybe even up to a week, but you know, I'd like to get in and out faster than others. No, we have to have passed it. I'm just not paying attention. There it is. Yeah, SHIB, number 16. It's a little under 5 billion. It's still up there. But I mean, remember, it was up here with like a top 10, or close to being the top 10 just a few months ago. But as soon as it started to come down and crash, you know, I guess more in May, it really lost all the leverage because XRP started storming back up. We saw, you know, some of the stable coins moving up. So, you know, it's in a precarious spot right now. I would still say Dogecoin. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't buy SHIB. It just means I would probably wait for SHIB to go lower. You know, I really hope that Bitcoin can finish off the breakout here. It can go right here, something like that, and then pop. But we gotta give it some time. And hey, PHX Loki says hello, and hey, Island Time, happy to see you back. They're opening drive-in restaurants, drive-in movie theaters with charging stations. Oh, that's really cool right there. Huh. Am I logging or shorting bank sticker? Probably shorting it. No. Let me look at the technicals before I say that, but I haven't liked banks in a while here. I just still don't like banks. Nothing about the banks is screaming, wow, Michael, you need to buy this up in a heartbeat. Because like here, it's almost like the SPY here, right? We got this upward trend. So we're still technically in a we're in a good area. But all I see is us breaking down out of this more aggressive trend right here, coming back down to earth, slowing down a little bit. We're probably hitting right on a Fibonacci level or something. Yeah, right on a Fibonacci level, just like that. But as soon as we start dropping below that, then we start heading down to $33, which is only like $1 less than where we are now. So it's not like it's something crazy, but I would short this sucker for like a year or something and wait for it to hit like $31 or something and then just get out of it. But I mean, $33 to $31, is that really something I want to play? Not really. If you have the opportunity to do some options on this or something, maybe that'd be better. We broke out above the 20 just to break back. Every time we break above the 20-month moving average, we have a nasty dump afterwards. My gosh. Oh, this is interesting here, but so this isn't something that we're probably gonna deal with for like a month or two. But Watch what happens as we approach the 50-month moving average. That's a pretty nasty dump. This is COVID though. 2018, pretty nasty dump where we found support. This is usually a pretty solid level of support here. I guess we were breaking out above it. Oh yeah, this is 2008. Oh yeah, 50-month moving average. Pay attention to that. That's a biggie right there. So maybe if you wanted to be more confident in a short, which I'd probably say short, and maybe you just wait for it to break down below the 50, or maybe you just wait for it to break down below this level right here. Because let me see. Did we get anything good right here? You know, it came close to breaking out. Hasn't broken out yet. Short term, I would still say come down. Maybe we break out in the future, but what incentive is there for me to really buy financials? Because let me go over here very fast. Okay, Bank of America. I mean, doesn't that look pretty? Already had the breakdown here, right? We've just been going down ever since. There we go here. Depends on how you want to look at that. In simple terms, that's what I'm looking at. Death cross on the monthly charts here pretty soon. We're not used to having death crosses though. 20 and the 50. I mean, when's the last time we had a death cross there? Yeah, I mean that was 2008. I mean that's a long time ago. I mean it's obviously not a good thing, I guess, right? But still, it's been so long that maybe times have changed enough where it's not going to have such an impact. And also, it was called the financial crisis. We're not necessarily at a financial crisis right now, although you know banks have been falling off a cliff as of late. JP Morgan is much better off. So nice uptrend. But oh wow, but also getting very, very close to a death cross here on the monthly charts. When's the last time we saw that? It wasn't too bad here. So it wasn't too bad there. Oh, we didn't actually have a death cross here, did we? It's like, yeah, we did right here. That didn't really do much, so that's fine. Normally it does mean bad stuff. Normally it does, I guess, but in 2012, it didn't really matter too much. Weekly, hovering a little bit. Yeah, I mean, because JP Morgan Chase just broke down. Or no, it didn't. It might break down next week. Here to there. Okay, yeah. It might break down next week, but it has not broken down yet. Daily chart just to confirm that. Okay, let me just get rid of all this crap. There we go. It's in the right line. Oh shit, we did break down, and we didn't even manage to break back above it, did we? Yeah, I'd be more of a short. I don't like banks because banks make you really understand how bad the system is. And you know, sometimes when it comes to JP Morgan, though, you never know because they're dealing with all the Epstein stuff, and the Epstein drama around the bank is actually pretty conspiratorially, like, whoa, people were talking about this as a conspiracy, that they knew everything. Now it's like, uh-oh, they were still working with him after they kind of knew. So it's like, uh-oh. So they might have some internal drama stopping them and stuff. But also, you know, you got that big level right there. That should buy you some time even with this breakdown. That could be that consolidation pattern that we've been hearing everybody talk about. But yeah, short. Short. When it comes to banks anyway these days, I'd usually be short. Long-term short, I guess you could say, but right now, yeah, short. I'll take another 20% dump on how many want to ride it up the bull market. Hopefully it goes back to at least 15-20. It should have a pretty good run. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket, and I doubt you are. So, yeah, just keep at it. Any discount, Matic, blah, 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 blah. I mean, not too good. It kind of matches what we were talking about before when it calls to ADA and other stuff. We have this level. Oh, this magnet's on. We had this level of support kind of over here, broke down. Have this next level of support, I guess, right here. Let's just say that. Almost matching up with some of the support we found over here for just a little bit, right over there. back in May of 2022. Wowza. Death cross number 1 came over here on the weekly chart. Definitely not good since then. Death cross number 2 happening in the next few weeks is we have the 20 cross down below the 200. I guess we don't. This chart hasn't been around long enough to have that. Daily chart, let's see. Had the death crosses over here. That, of course, wasn't anything good. Death cross right here. That wasn't good. Not close enough to the 200, which sucks. Typical case of you're at a major level of support. If you want to buy right here, you definitely can, but you better have a tight stop loss here, which is at this point not going to be that bad actually. From here to here, 8%, 9% stop loss. That's kind of a lot. If normal terms, but crypto terms, you know, it can be. If you buy down here and it just gets back up here, then you're looking at like 30%. So it's like, you know, 1 to 3 ratio right there. But let me go over here very fast, and then afterwards I gotta look at AMC, I think, right here. So you've already had that crossover over here. Momentum's been dying out. You had a crossover right there. That didn't really do anything, which is why I like my lagging indicators best of all. Let me see. This man saved it from here. I'm just going to add a little bit more lag to it, so it cuts off that false signal right there, which I hate. You still haven't seen the momentum really slow down yet, but this is the daily chart, right? You had the crossover over here that worked out pretty well. The crossover over here worked out very well. Crossover over here worked out temporarily, I guess, but still worked out, I guess. Weekly chart already had the crossover, and that wasn't too good. Four-hour. There you go. 4 hours giving you something to work with here. Higher lows. Lower highs. You're looking at a little bit of a pop here. Hopefully, again, like we're talking about Bitcoin, we kind of want Bitcoin to have a pop today. Matic, short term, okay. Medium to longer term, be careful. This could be another big drop coming. We're really hoping that Bitcoin, even though I guess we did just break down out of a large support level last week, we're still hoping that there's a way that the news can kind of save us here. But the fact that the stock market kind of turned bearish on us all at once, makes me just a little bit more concerned about the entire crypto market, because usually, you know, if the stock market goes down, usually Bitcoin will kind of follow it a little bit more than we want to, of course. But yeah, a little bit more concerned about it. As far as AMC is concerned, what a bad week this sucker had. Okay, let me just pop this up very fast. Honestly, I don't know what good a MACD is going to do on a thing like this, but I just kind of want to see what's happening. Well, I mean, oh, the splits happened over here. Split one. Wait, it had 2 splits, 17 to 15. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. So after a split, normally you have a big drop off, then you kind of have a big pop off here. But I mean, that MACD right here was screaming, you better sell the shit out of this thing. And I guess that drop kind of solidified it right there. How is the MACD usually on this thing, though? This is my MACD. So no fake crossover here, so you were safe. Crossover happened right here, and that's when you had the big move. Bad cross there, good cross there. Bad cross there. MACD, or my personal MACD thing right here is usually pretty good. I don't know how good the regular MACD is. Probably more signals on there, honestly. Let's just get the MACD out of here for now. What tool is this? I don't want the bundle version. Okay, let's go to the monthly chart very fast. Oh, shit, yeah, this is about to head towards all-time lows. Wow. And a death cross in the monthly chart, too. That's never good. Weekly. Death cross there, death cross there. The breakdown. I mean, you had a big support level. if you want to buy AMC or buy calls in AMC, this is what you're looking for. Right now, you're looking for AMC to hold $10.76 or kind of around there, maybe even just say hold 10.50 or something. But you're looking for the oscillators themselves to see some slowdown of the downward momentum, and then you're looking for some stability and then the crossover to happen. You're not going to probably get the bottom unless you really just want to buy today, or so I guess markets are closed today, but you know, buy on Monday or something like that. But boy, oh boy, you got to be very careful about this one. I mean, here, just do a traditional 3. You don't even have to go with the squeeze momentum indicator that I like. You might want to just add on the standard MACD. Okay, not the one I have. This is the standard MACD. The stochastic. Okay. You don't really need the RSI because the stochastic is going to help you out there anyway. Maybe the divergence indicator. Divergence from any indicators 4. And then maybe if you see some divergence happening, right? Divergence there, divergence there, divergence there, divergence there. If you see a little bit of divergence, it doesn't always work out. You can see right there, it didn't work out. If you start to see some divergence, be more likely to kind of buy in. So that would see a little bit of divergence there. But this is only short-term stuff, right? This is for a few days. This is for a few days. This is for a few days. Actually, this one lasts a little bit longer. Few days here, right? So it's really short-term things you're looking for here for a short-term reversal. But I mean, you're so close to just hitting that one. Like, if I go to the 5-minute chart, at least we stopped falling down after hours. But yeah, you were looking for that. Nothing is saying, wow, the momentum has stopped, let's buy. You want to see that momentum slow down. Like, see right here, the stochastic. You're seeing a small crossover, but the stochastic is, it's so many signals. I like mine to be a little bit more laggier. You guys know that by the last few videos I've been doing. Nothing looks good on this. I mean, I would just be so hesitant about even trying to trade this. I mean, just look at that drop. And then what's crazy, you can always go down here and just look at the history of this thing. It's just coming down and down and down. And AMC. I mean, they're still losing money. The market cap is less than $1 billion at this point. It's been upgraded August 24th. That was yesterday. A lot of good that did. Upgraded to from underperformed to neutral to $19. It's currently at $12, $12.50 right now. Yeah, good looking at there. These ones haven't been adjusted just yet from the split, so probably not going to pay attention to those. Yeah, 10-to-1 reverse stock split August 24th. Yeah. Oh, damn. The 10% owner is just selling it all. What the hell? Oh, just holy shit. All these people have done is sold AMC. They bought some back over here for $6. Oh, I think it might be because of the split, the way the split was working out here, but just holy shit. I mean, they're just getting out. They're like, fuck this. I'm out. I'm not losing any more money. Be very careful if you hop into AMC. This is so risky. It's so just, it's sucking people's money out left and right at this point. Just left and right. Hey, on time. As far as Hawaiian Electric, it's just that the implied volatility is so high, it makes it really hard to want to go in there and actually start buying up some come on, microphone. There we go. It makes it very hard to really want to go in there and trade it. I would say longer term puts with less volatility are what I'd be looking for primarily. I wouldn't buy a put that expires next Friday on this Monday. Maybe 2 weeks if you are okay with a little bit more volatility, but you really got to watch out for that implied volatility right there, because that thing is going to kick your butt if you're trading out of the money options. I mean, see, there's two ways to play this. You could either buy puts or you could sell calls. So like you're shorting the calls, or you're buying the puts. Mostly because if you short it, the value is probably going to come down pretty fast with implied volatility here, especially if it's not making much money, because they're in a kind of a crisis mode. I don't know if anybody knows who officially started it, but I do know as far as the electric company, there was some videos, I think, of like electrical lines kind of go poof, 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 and then all of a sudden fire started. So kind of could be them. So yeah, I'd probably say puts are going to be fine. I would not put a lot of money on it just because of how volatile that thing is going to be. Like it's already had two big drops so far. I would probably say just play it safe. Put a little bit of money in there, because that little bit of money, if it continues to go down, will turn into a lot of money. If you have a lot of money to blow, you can put a lot of money in there, but you're still risking a lot of money, basically, right? Yeah, no worries, Tony. Happy to answer your question right there. Big news on eviction front. Eventually, can't wait to hear the next cast. What do you call? I've been seeing that there's been a lot more repos and people not being able to afford their basic bills as of late. The whole sad thing about all of this is that right now, the economy from a objective point is okay. It's not even good. It's not even great. Politicians can say it's great or terrible. It's really just okay. Not good, not great, not terrible, not bad. Overall, it's okay. But for the people, everyday people, the economy is shit. Absolute shit. So what happens if the economy is shit and then we go into a recession next year? How much shittier does everybody's lives get if they have all these bills and they don't have a job on top of it? And remember, I've said this before, and I think I haven't talked about it like in a month or so. For those people who lost their jobs because the government took them away from them during COVID, and they shut everything down basically, they were able to get extra stimulus within their unemployment checks. It was like $600 or something like that a week or a month or something like that. They got an extra $600. I don't think they're getting an extra $600 this time, because the government's not the one taking their jobs. It'll just be the federal, the Treasury, Jerome Powell taking their jobs, right? The banks. It'll get a lot worse. Those evictions are going to go up. And does that mean rent is going to go down? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see rent inflation coming down anytime soon, like going negative anytime soon. Like rent inflation, trading economics. Ten-year column. We're going down a little bit, but we're not like negative. I mean, look at that. 8% still. Maybe you could say at high sevens if you want to be technical. High sevens inflation for rent. It decreased to 7.69. Apartments aren't going to get cheaper anytime soon. That's why I tell you guys, like, you go over here to what's it called? Apartments.com. All right. And we're going to go and we're going to sort just low to high. Not even going to worry about anything else. Okay. The cheapest place in Seattle, or Tacoma apparently, is a studio. This is $975, $985. Okay, wow, this is really it. $950 to $1,150. We're just gonna take the lowest price here. We're not even gonna try to play games with it. $950. You're probably gonna be paying for 330 square feet. And to be frank with you guys, again, we've talked about this before. If somebody is pay calculator Washington State. All right. So you're single, you live in Tacoma, Washington, and you're getting paid hourly, and the minimum wage over here is, let's just say 15, even though I think it's like $12.50 or something. Hours per pay period, I believe the standard is 80. Okay, so no overtime. Your estimated semi-monthly take-home pay. So let me see over here. Bi-weekly pay, right? Pay weekly, bi-weekly, yeah. Okay. So your take-home salary after taxes and everything is $972. So you can't actually afford this. And I know your pay for the month is going to be around $972 every 2 weeks, but most people in most apartments in Tacoma, Seattle, I don't look for places many others, but even in Montana, I realized it. They actually want you to earn 3 times the income to live in the studio. Okay, so let me go over here. The Winthrop. I mean, I've probably seen this building a lot, but I don't drive by it. Where is this even? Oh, this is how is the cheapest place in downtown compared to all this? You see all the suburbs? The suburbs are more expensive than downtown. That's because Tacoma can be a shithole sometimes. Here you go. View floor plans. Floor plans coming soon. Yeah, they're so shitty, nobody wants to see them. Amenities. Energy efficient appliances, high-speed internet access, close to a park, a lot, so you don't even get laundry in your room, Wi-Fi available, on-site management, online rental payments, residential service corridor, ballroom, and business center. You didn't think of everything. So, that's what you get. And you can't even afford it because they want 3 times you pay. When I lived downtown Tacoma, like, a few blocks up there, you guys have seen where I lived over there back when I was first started doing YouTube. It was, what do you call it? It was like a little over $1,500 a month for rent, like 16 something, 1700 something. But they wanted 3 times the rent shown, and I had to show it to them before I even got approved for anything. Before they even ran the credit, they wanted to see a bank statement showing how much money went into my account, how much money left the account. They're pretty brutal here. Now, again, back up a little bit. Let's go somewhere like Olympia. Can I how do you get out of the I'll just draw. Oh wait, no. There we go, okay. Sort low to high. And Olympia, which is the capital, the cheapest place is for seniors, and it's at $999. You get $1,000 right here. Again, you can't afford it. Oh, these bastards bought my old building, and they moved me out because I hated them so much. They rose my rent. They started charging me for utilities I wasn't even using, and they took away my parking. Fucking bastards. Notice the 3.2 right here. They suck ass. Yeah, Target Real Estate. But what do you call it? So, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I'm guessing that's what you're paying for the $1,064. You're getting 605 square feet for that. And you still can't afford it at minimum wage. You can afford this if you make, what is that? 1,000. So you got to make about $3,000 after taxes. Bi-weekly. Yeah, you have to be making about $25 an hour in order to live anywhere by yourself. Now, maybe if you go down here to Yelm, this is where the country folks live. This is where I get my meat. Right, the meat place is over here somewhere. over here. The cheapest, the redneck country is $1,600. Holy shit, this is crazy. But I mean, this is wild. Like, the cities are cheaper than the suburbs these days because of what COVID did to the entire market. What everybody thought that COVID was going to be around for such a long time because, you know, Biden won the lockdowns for a while. Remember? There was like this kind of weird uprising where it was like, we don't want to wear masks anymore. We don't want to do this. But until people kind of got really fed up and it started showing up in the polls really, really fast, all these places were getting built up. So the cheapest place in Yelm, and maybe I can... Yeah, I'm going to show you guys Yelm very fast. Yelm is not something where there's a lot of stuff. It is a small town, okay? I get my meat from somewhere over here. This is Roy. I get my meat right here, right? This is the meat shop I go to. Yelm is right here, okay? I think there's a casino somewhere in here, maybe. No, I may be thinking of the wrong place, but whatever. You know, this is the main road, right? This is not a city. It's a town. Right? Blue collar town, nice folks. Look at those cool German shepherds right there. This is a chill town, but it's not by civilization, right? It's far away from the city. It's like an hour away or something like that because you got to drive. Like, the highway is over here to get to the place everywhere. So you got to drive up there, then take the highway, then you're good. Okay? But that's kind of what I'm talking about. And the cheapest place is $1,600 for one bed, one bath, 725 square feet. What the hell is going on here? This is just so crazy. Like, do they have the floor plan for this one? Yeah, here it is. Okay, tour this floor. Oh, no, I don't want to tour. I just want to see a picture. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is in A. So you got entry. You got a living room, which seems fine. Bedroom, that seems fine. Bathroom and kitchen and dining and decor patio and storage. You know, it's I mean, it looks like that what the front paneling is. It looks like that. This is your standard apartment complex. Nothing fancy about it. Nothing fancy at all. It costs that much for it. God, guys, this is such a weird time. Like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing about this makes sense. And when stuff doesn't make sense, I question my own fucking reality because I'm like, how? Like, you know, like, maybe if we go out here. Now, this is by a lake, though. I have friends that have places over here. Yeah, this is for houses. This isn't for apartments. I expect those to be expensive. Okay, out here. So this isn't by the big city. You know, we're all the way out here towards country area again. What's this area right here? One bedroom. I think it's this one seems kind of weird. This must be a house, though. Oh, no, Unit A. So they might have split the house up into certain sections. But again, 1,200 square feet, a lot better, but you're also paying 1,700. So that person that is even getting paid $25 an hour, you can't afford this. And you're living in this area, right? So that. I don't know how you live in that, but I guess you do. I guess you do. That's why I always think it's crazy that people move to Washington and they're like, oh, I'm going to make it here. Like, you know how you can't even afford to live here. Like, you can't even afford the basics. Like, maybe if we go to eastern Washington, across the mountains, there's a huge divide in Washington state between, like, I think from a political view, wealthy liberal elites on this side, more country folk, although, like, literally everybody outside of this area is really all just country folk. We just got trees over on this side. They don't have trees on that side. But, like, here's Moses. Like, this is a nice little area, right? There's a lake and stuff. This is where you get $892 for your cheapest place, right? And you're getting blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're getting about 620 square feet, and you're still paying about $900. Like, at a certain part, don't you just have to go to Craigslist? Craigslist, sites? I don't go on Craigslist. I don't know exactly how to use this thing, but I know they have a housing thing here. I used to use this back when I was in college. It was great because you find other college kids. Rooms wanted, apartments, housing. Okay, here we go. 2,000. There are $2,000 apartment listings on Craigslist. When? Like when? Okay, here. Cheapest. The price isn't this. The price isn't this. The price isn't on it. $79. No, these are nightly rates for, what do you call it? $80 late fraud. It's a lot. Lots. Oh, here we go. No, $300 weekly. $1,200 monthly. Oh, they're so sneaky. Commercial. How do I... Housing type. Apartment. Apply. Maybe that'll help me out. That's $300 weekly. Here's one. $571, one bedroom, 700 square feet. Ah, there we go. Dogs are okay, cats are okay. We found one. Gotta go to Craigslist if you want to be able to afford living here. Deposit $500, leasing option 12 months, application fee $44. All right. There you go. I mean, 500 something bucks. Honestly, it's worth it. You can find a cheap spot. Yeah. Let me see. Cross Point Apartments. Further away, it looks like. Oh, I don't know if this is in Tacoma or further away. This is Tacoma one. All right. Why Tacoma Community College? That's not bad. How do I... This website has nothing on it. It has no room tours, no what do you calls, no layouts. It literally has nothing. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's go to the further away ones. Well, let's just go to Truly. Look at apartments.com. There we go. Oh, Target Real Estate. Whoa, this is interesting. So this is they say it's $1,500. Oh, this is the further away one. This isn't the Tacoma. This is the further away one. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what the hell? Silverdale, Tacoma, Zillow, Tacoma. 800 square feet. Oh, it doesn't say what the prices are. Oh. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so this is so weird. But I won't go on too much about it, but isn't that just so crazy? Like, it shows why we have so many homeless people up here. Now, Seattle has a lot of homeless people. Tacoma doesn't really have as much right now because they've all been kind of moved over to Seattle. But Portland has a bunch, and same type of situation over there. Oh, it's just so wild, yeah. What's my best Ichimoku cloud settings for number of stocks and if different for cryptos? I don't really tweak the Ichimoku cloud settings. Maybe I could figure out if there's other ones you can use. Normally with Ichimoku, I normally try to use it on the daily and weekly charts only. I've never really tried to use it for short-term trading, like maybe under 4 hours, maybe under a day, really. I'll see if I can find a way to get less lag out of it. But normally when you pop on the Ichimoku cloud, let's go over here to the weekly charts. Normally I don't really bother with it too much here. You can see we broke into the cloud right there. We kind of had some resistance over there. We're still having that crossover right there. And we kind of back up a little bit, if you will. Auto, there you go. FTX crash is coming up here pretty soon. Boom. It's weird because it doesn't do week by week. It's doing day by day within the weekly candles. All right. And boom, you see how we stopped there for a little bit of time? It worked. We found some support. And then what happened? After we broke into it, we just kind of been going more stagnant ever since. But see how we had that crossover right there over here? Then you started to see things come back down a little bit. The only thing that saved us was the big news from the government and ETFs and stuff like that. And even then, it's not terrible. Even that crossover wasn't too crazy. It just depends on how you view the crossovers. Even that crossover was kind of more of a bullish signal, but when you look at the way that thing crossed over, it's just not good. Monthly charts, don't use them. Daily charts, barely use them. I need to use them more, I guess you could say. But I mean, just look at this. Hasn't really been the biggest help as of late for us. Break into it, no real volatility, no showing any support or resistance from it. Maybe if you go towards the SPY, I think it's a little bit more realistic for us. But even then, it's such a fucking mess right now. Yeah, we've just actually entered into that zone itself too. Had the crossover over here, those moving averages helped us out a little bit, I would say. Weekly chart, haven't had the crossovers just yet. 4-hour chart, the crossover happened back over here. That was actually a little bit more beneficial, but you see how we had a couple crossovers beforehand. They really didn't do anything. It mostly showed that the momentum was slowing. The crossover happened right here that kind of turned more bearish from the green one. That kind of showed you some stuff there. Yeah, I feel like it just kind of better with stocks than actually cryptocurrencies. I would have to find a good number for cryptocurrencies. Because there are, I don't know which settings I'd probably prefer to do. I mean, you could do the lagging span, but I might just change the first one right here, the conversion line length, and the span B length. Because let me go over here to the dollar index. Daily chart. Broke out there, hit some, yeah, see, it's just not that reliable on some of these. But I mean, this dollar index has been all over the fucking place this year, hasn't, sorry for all the cursing, guys. It has been all over the place. Hasn't broken out there, haven't had the cross out there. So yeah, the dollar index is so close to just having a big pop day, a big pop month or so, and that's going to be so bad for stocks and asset classes. Let me do this. I'll do a cheat here for you guys. ChatGPT, GPT-4. All right, so standard settings, 92652. All right, crypto specific settings, okay. Oh, okay, so it wants us to go, I drag that off. Oh, no, okay. So it said crypto settings. Let me see what I can use the crypto settings. Let's go for the daily chart. Let's actually just quit that out of there. Let's do this Bitcoin chart. Let's get rid of the divergences. Let's add another Ichimoku cloud on here. Okay, so we kind of have like a standard versus what you see here. Now Ichimoku cloud here. So conversion line, we're going to move that up to 20. Baseline 26. Yeah, see, that one didn't move. I knew I was going to move that one. Oh no, it did. Sorry, for the crypto ones it did. Never mind. Oh, whoa, this is okay. Never mind. I'm totally off the wrong ones here. So 20, 60. Expand B, 60. Really, 120. That'll be interesting to see how that works out. Okay. So let me zoom out here a little bit so you can kind of see everything on the charts. That one's not too bad right there. Meanwhile, look at the current Bitcoin chart. So this is, let me go back to the daily one. Yeah, that one's a little bit better. Let me see. A little bit better, a little bit better. Now, it's not lagging as much. Like you see the actual cloud there doesn't go back as far. But let's let's try something else. So let's go over here and let's play with the replay. All right, so these are the lows of the cycle that we're looking at right now. Okay. Auto. Let's just hit this. This is daily chart. Let's see how the cloud really hit the cloud. Resistance for a few days, broke above it. A little bit of support with it. A little bit of support, really kind of around the 20 though, because that was the banking crisis right there. Remember, having the crossovers. Yeah, the bearishness showed a little bit there, not a lot. Coming back down to the cloud. A little bit of support on the bottom side. Yeah, that's where we are. That one might not be bad right there. That one is a conversion length of 20, a baseline length of 60, a leading B span of 60, and a lagging span of 120. Screenshot, record, whatever. You can do that. Now let me try. So that was the only one that said it was crypto specific. So it had standard, it had crypto specific, and it had crypto short. Let me actually. Are the other ones crypto specific? I am talking about number 3 and 4. See, it's not specifically tailored for Bitcoin, number 3 and 4, which is what I asked for. So now I gotta like make double check. So the crypto specific setting number 2 are more closely aligned with the 24/7 nature and higher volatility of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. These settings are often recommended by traders who exclusively or primarily trade in the crypto markets. Would you like to proceed with the specific tasks related to these Ichimoku cloud settings? I would like the settings to be tailored to a weekly Bitcoin chart. Wonder if that'll give me some help here. And while I'm kind of messing around with this very fast and it's giving me that information, I'm gonna go over here to Ethereum. How's this one work? Does it match up with Ethereum? But I guess I didn't ask it. It matched up there a little bit, even with the 200. A little bit there, a little. Yeah, actually, it did do a little bit of work for us. Okay, not as much over here, but I guess once we start entering that cloud, that's already kind of a big warning sign within itself, isn't it? But again, Bitcoin leads the way, so you would have known there was some support there if you were using this as far as Bitcoin. But back test it. Good. Use the replay feature. Don't just trust the fact that it kind of worked just this time. Back test, back test, back test. Now, extended weekly settings. This is the settings it's giving me right now if you want to use this for a weekly chart. So the conversion line period of 50, 100, 100, and 200. Okay. So that's what it looks like on the daily chart. We need to put this on the weekly chart. And this looks to be trash. Unless I need to do something like this and go over here, but I doubt this will do much. There we go. A little bit more data coming at this. It's not worth it here. Is too far away from the price action. I know I'd want to adjust them if it's some. Oh my God. See this? Oh, it cut them down by a whole bunch. Wow. Let's get that out of here. All right. So this time it's saying 20, 40, 40, 80. 80 is what I want to see a little bit better. Yeah, 80 brings it back up a little more. Still not really what I want to see. No, ChatGPT is full of it right now. As far as the weekly charts, I don't think it ever gets weekly data. Nobody ever looks at weekly charts for the most part. Use this with the SPY. It works a little bit better with the SPY than it does Bitcoin, like I asked. This might be pulling some shit out of its ass to make itself look smarter. But the first one actually seemed to be pretty fine with it, so I'd use those numbers over the ones we just talked about here. Let's get out of ChatGPT. There we go. One of my calls I was reviewing, they stated there are so many evictions coming starting March that the eviction companies are being paid extra just to service portfolios that are too many to handle. I totally believe it, guys. I believe are 30% higher. Just there's a damn. I mean, that's where you gotta invest, I guess. Thank you, Oliver, for pointing out the Richmond north of Richmond. Oh man, I heard you in Tom Crown's channel doing a Fairdesk promo. Nice work, sir. I heard you in Tom Crown's channel doing a Fairdesk promo. What? I don't think I did that. I didn't. Oh well, I mean, they sponsor me. They can use my image however they want to, but I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I mean, I just talked with Tom a couple days ago. I mean, me and Tom are good friends, but yeah, I did not know. I don't know. I'm used for a whole bunch of stuff, and like my face, I was tagged on Instagram. You guys, I need to start using Instagram more, but I don't use Instagram too much. Like here, Instagram. Oh shit! Can I log in? Oh, thank God. Okay, cool. I feel bad because I think actually people message me on Instagram, but I don't reply because I don't use Instagram. Yeah, I got I got hearts and stuff. How do I use this? Notifications. Yeah, here. See, right. I did a video for them today. They posted me up here, inflation and the dollar. Delve into the world of inflation and its impact on the US dollar through comprehensive chart analysis and data exploration. Speaker Michael Whitman today. It was at 2 p.m., so it was like at 11 a.m. my time. But yeah, I think if you guys go over to Twitter, Opus clip, I think they're using my videos too, or they're using my face too. They don't pay me, but they give me stuff to do on their website, which is pretty chill, so I don't mind it. They're really cool people over there. I think I earned commissions off of the video I made for them though. But I think when they were first getting started, they used my photo. Scroll down. I usually like to get into these tech projects very early on to kind of meet the people behind it, because at the beginning of a project, they're really more likely to, okay, whatever. They're usually more likely to, how do I say, like have time to talk with you. Like Opus clip, because I have the tutorial on Opus clip right now. I just thought it was a cool thing and I made a tutorial. It was before I even knew them. But if you go over here like to shorts or something, like here, see? We use Opus Clip to clip a YouTuber's tutorial. So what do you call? That's my face. When I had a beard, I'm growing my beard out again. But that's not my channel. So my face is kind of being around a little bit. I kind of like it. But yeah, Opus Clip team, they're really nice. I'll probably end up making more clip tutorials for them, because I want to talk about more techie stuff, the stuff I like, but it's going to be like the tech AI stuff and not just like some random, like I'm not going to be reviewing the newest iPhone when it comes out, because I'm not fucking buying a new iPhone for a YouTube video, but you get my point there. But yeah, my face has been showing up on other places. Let me go over here to Tom's channel very fast. Tom Crown. Oh, I should have just went over to my left side of that thing. Bloopity 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 bloop. 4 days ago. Shorts live. It's probably somewhere in here, I'm sure. I don't know. I should watch more of Tom's content. He talks about a lot of fun stuff. He has his green scene. I know you guys earlier saw how messy my kitchen area was. It's because I'm like literally cleaning out everything in my kitchen, and I'm moving like so this place was designed by my grandparents to have like a person living upstairs and downstairs. But since I'm kind of paying for the whole house at this point, because I don't want to share a place, for heaven's sakes. But the only problem is I had to find a reason to kick the person out that was living down here. And luckily the person was very, very stupid. And no matter how much my grandmother asked her to, she kept on putting baby wipes down the toilet. And it was causing like the backup and like the pay to get somebody to fix everything. So my grandpa was like, "You're out of here." So it was like I didn't have to do any work on that part. But I just get my food from upstairs and I bring it down there. And so now that whole area is turned into a mess, because there's donuts, a bowl, 2 green screen covers, and a lot of coffee and tea stuff over there. But it looks messier than it is because I have a couple cans of energy drinks over there that my sister brought over. But what do you call? It's very awkward to like have 2 kitchens, 2 living rooms, 3 bedrooms because of the way the house is working. But one of the bedrooms I save for my mom in case she wants to come over here, and another bedroom is like an extra bedroom, but my sister's the only one that ever uses it. But yeah, it's pretty darn interesting. Oh, voice only, sir? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. It was just your voice during the Fairdesk promo sound just like you? It probably was. I've been making ads and stuff like that to help me out. So what I've been doing is, like, I have this thing right here, this little, oops, don't know what that was for. There you go. Ads for exchanges. This is a whole bunch of stuff I don't need on here anymore. It's all old. I use the Opus clip to make shorts. That's what you guys see. A lot of the political ones I've been doing. They've all been made with that one. But what I do is I just find an ad that they have and I talk over it and I get the permission and it's really nice and easy. But yeah, it's really, really chill. And I don't mind. Tom is really chill. He can use anything of mine he wants. Me and Tom have been like friends for like fucking years at this point. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream right here. It's been a good 2 hours talking with you guys. Wowza. No, when did I start talking? I started the stream at 5, I think, didn't I? Yeah, it's almost been 3 hours talking with you guys. Wow, I'm getting my game back as far as streaming. I'm really happy about that. I even got you know what it is? Since I'm off my ADHD medication, I needed a reason to focus. So I got these Atomic Rhino, what do you call these things? Smelling salts. You pop in and it goes, right? I didn't actually use them today, but you know, I could have. I remember the feeling from a couple days ago when I opened it up just to try it out and I was like, whoa. But yeah, so it was fun talking with you guys. It was a good 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. What do you call it? I'll see you guys a little bit later. Oh yeah, Tony, I can play it for you very fast. Okay, I have a couple of them, so they're gonna sound a little bit different. But here's one that's today's video is sponsored by Fairdesk, a premier crypto exchange specializing in futures, spot, and copy trading. That's the one of the other ones, like pretty much the same thing. Today's video is sponsored by Fairdesk, a premier, pretty much the same thing, right? And then I have one for LBank. Today's video is sponsored. I never actually did a full sponsorship with them, so I'm kind of like hesitating to actually use their ads because they never actually paid me. So I'm kind of just like, I have it, but you know, I could send people their way, but they're not paying me at the same time. So do I really want to? Probably not. I'm about to start another sponsorship here pretty soon with TapBit, which will be pretty fun. I'll make a video using the same type of thing. And all they're going to be used for basically is in the middle of my video. You guys have probably seen these before already. In the middle of a video, I'll just say, hey, everybody, this video is sponsored by so-and-so, you know. But I'll probably make a new ad for the video, but new voiceover per each video. Because I need to sound more exciting. I was in the middle of mics when I did that type of stuff, and I wasn't really sure how to use this mic at the time, so my voice isn't coming across as crazy. But yeah, hope you guys all have a good rest of your night. That's the one you heard? Yeah. What do you call? Remember, guys, I used to be a marketing director. Even though I talked about a lot about having ADHD, I was able to become a marketing director, marketing manager, those jobs, not from a lack of talent. All right, Loki says goodbye. Come here, up. Yeah, sure, good boy. That's a really good boy. Okay, see you guys later, and guys, thank you so much for watching the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, I know. And members, get ready for some more content here. I know I've been like super bad at it, and I'm not even gonna try to like say I'm not bad. I'm super bad at it. I'm gonna start putting out some more content for you guys tomorrow, especially going over Disney, Target, a lot of these stocks I've been getting beat